Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
Hello.
We're live. Oh, the only other thing I forgot is that it says
DM.
Yeah, it says that Duncan is me, so that's the other thing I forgot to do. Oh god. Hold on. That's fine.
We are all Duncan.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We are a hive.
I think we're all Duncan.
Yeah.
Just change it.
I'm just
I
gonna
thought the screen went white.
No, yeah. I'm just gonna change this to say Duncan. It's very big. Hold on. Let's get it figured out. Okay, and then okay. So as I fix this, welcome everyone. We are we are live and we have a full crew today. We've done 2 sessions of this season of this campaign. This campaign has been all over the place. So we had we had a whole season of I think we did 12 or 13 episodes initially of the initial campaign with the initial group. And then IRL stuff came up, so we had to kind of go on hiatus for a few months. But we're back now, and we have one of the original characters with Tartrus, with his character Rhuk. Then we also have joining us now. We have TSM, who was in the 2nd episode. This is actually episode 3 of the season. We had 2 episodes kind of introducing this new setup. And also including TSM in the 2nd one. And then today we have joining us, we have Helios and Duncan, aka Duncan. Yeah, that is all. I think some food just got dropped off, sorry.
Really?
But I'm not gonna go get it. Lemur's gonna grab it. So
Wow. That actually might be worse than I paid.
Yo, I paid for it, okay? It's fair. It's a trade-off. But yeah, so
Is it food for both of you or just her?
it's for both of us.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
enough then.
So real quick, normally I actually have the players do a bit of a recap, but I think I'll just do one here to for this situation.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna give a whole recap of the 1st season. If you missed it, the basics were that the initial party got stranded in the New World, America's equivalent of my world, being a bunch of Vikings from the Europe equivalent. They had no idea what was going on, got attacked by multiple different factions and groups, and eventually just kind of started to run off into the middle of this continent to try to find something. They got split up, and that brought us to where Rhuk, Tartrus's character, ended up stumbling his way alone now, conveniently with the loot from the rest of the group, into a city here. And in this city, he thank you. In this city, he met up with Talvo, a swashbuckling rogue who steals from the rich and keeps it for himself. No, I don't know. He gives to the poor, right? I don't know. What does he do with the money? Either way, he steals from the rich. That's the important part.
That's the base part.
Yeah, and let's see. So they decided to team up, Rhuk and Talvo, to pull off a heist. The heist went a little belly up. Rhuk got captured, but what do you know? Coincidentally, a big group of Boarman mercenaries decide suddenly show up. Oh god, the cameras are all gonna get fucked up now. Okay, no, they're fixed again. So a big group of Boarman warriors show up and help Talvo break Rhuk out of his confinement. More than that, they pretty much demolish an entire manor house.
They maybe raise that guy's entire estate down.
Yeah. So
It's possible.
absolutely destroyed everything there. And the group, well, the two of them, decide to take their kind of small band of rogues and then like some freed slaves and stuff, and they were decided to go with the Boarmen to Boar territory.
Well,
Because
I would say decided. It was more like, I don't want to say no to these guys.
yeah. But yeah, the group, the two of them made it to the Boarman capital. We kind of skimmed over that because it wasn't really like they were going to go off and do their own adventures at that time.
Yeah.
But they eventually, I know the cameras are mixed up. That's fine. Once Tart is back, hopefully it'll fix itself. But yeah. So the two of them made it to the Boarman capital. And when they made it to the capital, they were basically paraded through the city to the palace of the Boarmen. There you go, Tart.
I realized my was on the wrong one.
Yeah. But yeah, so the last thing we had left off with was the players reaching this okay, just adjusting some volume. The last thing we left off was you reaching the palace, walking in, and seeing the Emperor of the Boarmen. Specifically, he is called the God Emperor of the Boarmen. And his full title would be, which you've heard from the Boarmen on the way, is God Emperor Kurbak the Omnipotent. Very extravagant title. And like, I don't know what your characters necessarily thought of him before you walked into this room, but you definitely were not expecting what you saw, I think it's fair to say. Because most Boarmen are taller than human height. The average is maybe 7 feet tall, right? But that's within the realm of normalcy. When they walk into this palace throne room type deal, they see that the Boarman sitting on the throne, Kurbak, is 20 feet tall, at least. He's the size of like a full giant. And he's proportioned like a normal Boarman, so a little bit hunched over with massive tusks, right? And muscles rippling. But he is completely massive. And dwarfs any Boarman that you guys have ever seen or heard of. By more than double. And that is pretty much where we left off at that exact moment. There is what I will say is no, you're good. What I will say is that at this point, Helios, we're not going to introduce your character to them yet, but Helios, your character is in this room and you see them. So the group, beyond being paraded in by a group of like 50 Boarman warriors, elite warriors, beyond this, there are a group of like 15 or to 20 humans and a couple elves, a couple halflings. I want Rhuk and Talvo, I want Tartrus and TSM, I want you guys to describe your characters again. So, because yeah, there are two that are clearly in the lead, Talvo and Rhuk. And Helios, your character would see them and immediately recognize these are the leaders of this group. I guess Tart first. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Rhuk is a human that grew up with orcs, so he's dressed in an orc fashion. He has filed his teeth down to make fangs, and he generally does believe he's an orc. He only speaks orcish. He generally really likes just fighting, raiding, getting gold, the simple pleasures in life, pretty much. And he's with Talvo now to, go liberate his friends down south.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And then yeah, he's not wearing any armor. He learned his lesson after that. And then Talvo?
Yeah, Talvo's just like a human rogue. It's kind of a more like tactician sort of guy, but he's always looking to like kind of amass power because he's really important to him that he gets back down south to save his friends, and he's just kind of trying to build up an army to do that right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and as far as like you have like the quality of your clothes, is it decent? Is it high quality? Low quality?
It's a pretty nice quality leather.
Okay. Yeah. you good, Tar?
Maybe more. Maybe
Everyone spoke really fast for a bit.
Oh yeah, it's probably catching up. Yeah.
maybe a bit more, fashionable than tactician.
Yeah. And yeah, so Helios, again, we'll get to your character in a second, right? But your character sees them, and you can kind of gather some of these things that they're saying that you might not necessarily, a normal person might not necessarily be able to tell, like their drives and ambitions, and you can't tell exactly. But looking at Talvo, you could tell he's got like ambition. You can tell just by looking at Rhuk that he enjoys battle itself more than anything, right? You can kind of tell these things.
I mean, if he was in this room as we were at, surely like news of us being on the way would have.
Yeah, that's true. You've also you've heard of them as well. There's been rumors flying around the city for the past week or so. So yeah, that's true. And yeah. I should say that Duncan, your character is also here, and we kind of talked about how. We'll get to how you're revealed to everything. But yeah, so you would also, well, yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, so what was I gonna say? Sorry. So in the room, to describe the room a little bit better, it is just a kind of a massive hall with like big pillars, right? Stone pillars holding up the ceiling. But in various parts of the room are clearly different like groups, like political groups, religious groups, other things, right? You can actually tell that clearly the court was in session, right? There are like groups of merchants. Most of the people in the room are Boarmen, but not all of them are. There are actually groups of humans, there's actually groups of elves, even a group of draconic elves, dragon elves, which is interesting because the dragon elves are at odds with the Boarmen recently. But this group of dragon elves, maybe they're diplomats or maybe they're merchants who are allowed here for some reason. Either way, there's all these different groups. You can see priests of like some human religious order, it looks like. You can also see just various other kind of like artisans and Boarmen merchants from the city who are probably here to petition for one thing or another, right? And so this is kind of, and as you guys have entered, the whole crowd like looked at you. Kurbak would have stood up, and the leader of the Boarman group that guided you here would have like kneeled and said, "All hail Kurbak the Omnipotent, God Emperor of the Boarmen." And when he does this, most of the people, not all, but all the Boarmen fall to their knees. And there begins a chant. Not all of the Boarmen do this chant, but most of them do. And the chant is specifically them saying, oh god, I wrote it down. Yes, they say, "Kurbak is us, we are Kurbak. Kurbak is us, we are Kurbak." You get the idea. And they repeat this probably like 10 to 12 times each, and then it quiets down. And Kurbak then kind of stepping forward, he has a staff that he's using. It doesn't look like he needs the staff, but it's just it's like a scepter more than a staff, right? But he kind of like walks forward with it, taking a few steps from his throne, each step going like boom, boom. And then looking down at you all, and there's like a hush that falls over the room, and he's like, outsiders. And he would be speaking this in, the, no, you know what? He's actually speaking it in Boarman language, which neither of you guys speak, I don't think, right?
No, but I have my cap on, so I would understand.
Well, that's the thing, is that you like go to, because that is the thing that you have to like activate, like with the cap, but you go to do that, and then you're like, wait a minute, I actually already understand him.
Oh.
And you can clearly tell that there's some sort of magical effect being projected in this room. So he's making it so, or someone of his court, something is making it so that you don't have to. And he then again booms out, he says, outsiders from beyond the barrier. I have long wanted, well, in the weeks since I've heard of you, I have wanted to speak with you.
Are we already kneeling or made to kneel?
No, you are standing unless you want to be kneeling.
Oh no.
Okay. I'm gonna kneel.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
Okay.
it too.
And the rest of the people in your group will, I guess, Helios, would your character be kneeling?
I would actually know what we're standing next to him. Or
The what? Sorry.
wherever I would be positioned with him.
Yeah, you'd be over
positioned in
near.
that room.
Yeah.
I'd be standing up.
Okay, yeah. There are actually a few Boarmen who aren't standing, and it seems like they're ones that have decently high position in the room. There's also a couple of the 4 dignitaries who aren't kneeling, who are standing still. Hold on, I'm gonna send Duncan a message real quick.
Using whisper.
But yeah, so
So we
all right.
kneel.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I think I would say something along the lines of, "We're honored by your summons, God Emperor Kurbak."
oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I made a typo there, Duncan. Sorry. Yeah, so you say you're honored by his summons, and he's like, huh.
Oh, that's what I tell him.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's like, there's no need for formalities here, not from you all who are from beyond the barrier.
Oh.
And at this point, he like looks around and he says, he barks out like, and it's a booming voice, right? He's like, all of you leave us, except for any motions to a couple Boarmen, in particular. And so the everyone else like quickly like scatter, not out of fear, but out of respect, right? They're like, okay, he wants us out, we're gonna get out of here. There's maybe like a dozen elite guards who stay in here, like but you don't get the impression that he's really worried about you attacking him. And then yeah, your group is in here. Even the Boarmen who came with you actually start to head out. The guy who's in charge of that group, whose name is slipping me, what was it?
Your name?
It was Jed. It was Jed. Yeah, Jed, the leader of the the Boarman that was your escort. He
Jed, I love that dude.
he gives a nod to one of the other Boarmen in the room, and then he also turns back and walks out with the rest of his troop. The one that he gave a nod to, you actually see, is another Boarman who is unusually large, nowhere near the size of Kurbak, but the one that he kind of nodded to stands at about 10 feet tall, and again, average height is 7 feet tall for these Boarmen. 10 feet tall is like, that'd be equivalent of seeing like an 8 foot tall human. That it's not, it does happen, but very rarely. after everyone kind of scurries out, then you guys are in here. The group of like humans and elves and everything with you guys is still with you though. Like they're kind of, a couple of them are kind of huddled close, like they're like not sure what's going on. At this point, Kurbak like looks down and he like almost looks like he's studying each of you. And the interesting thing is that he definitely shows signs of age. Some of his hair is kind of like white and gray, right? But again, he still looks like he is in prime fighting condition, although it's even hard to judge what that would be for him. As he kind of studies you, you guys get to, you can look at him, and he has a very calm demeanor. Well, a very like powerful presence to be sure, but it looks like he is very cool and calculating. There's no doubt in his mind or anything. And more than that, as you guys look into his eyes, I want for all of you, except for Helios, to roll me an insight check. So everyone, including Duncan, to actually make me an insight check.
Oh, that was me. Why didn't mine work?
Wait, you rolled it as greeny.
That's why.
Did you change it in the...
Wait, how do I change who I'm rolling as?
No, yours... Oh,
As at the bottom.
yeah, which says as at the bottom.
Oh, okay,
Mhm,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
No, it did roll from your sheet though, Tart. So
Yeah.
So,
So-
do I do slash roll insight?
you can just click on the sheet and then
No.
but yeah, but it
Okay.
yeah. But it actually already rolled. It just rolled it for Dudok. It used the right stats though.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, we'll take
Well, then
we'll
we'll
take
go
the
with the
six.
first Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I like that better.
But yeah, so okay. So Talvo is the only one out of you guys that is really able to get a read on this guy, because again, he keeps his kind of, it's clear he keeps his true thoughts guarded behind this cool collected gaze. But Talvo, you can tell that there's something else there, almost like there's a burning rage or flame of ambition behind his eyes, and the cool collected demeanor is something that he is comfortable with, but also something that he could drop at a moment's notice if he needed or wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, and as he kind of studies each of you, his gaze turns to the like small little group that is with you, your little ragtag group, and he says, "One of your group clearly does not belong. I sense someone who has other intentions." And his eyes pierce into the eyes of another character. Dudok, why don't you describe your character?
Right.
Or Duncan, yeah.
So, you follow the gaze of the God Emperor, and it lands on a dragon elf. You may not, you can't quite, see the scales, but I imagine you, Talvo specifically, has seen enough dragon elves to know. Standing about, kind of short for an elf. Thin, wearing scale mail, with yellow eyes, blonde hair. Looks like a Lannister, but an elf. And he's a bit unnerved that the God Emperor was able to immediately look at him and say, "You're not meant to be here." So,
Yeah, and for
shaking in his boots.
for Talvo and Rhuk, you're like Talvo's probably immediately like
Yeah, for me in particular, I'm a little.
yeah, and what you realize is you're like, wait a minute, I definitely have seen this guy as part of our group for like a day or two, but now you're like, I can't remember when he joined my group. You're thinking back, Talbo's thinking back to like a week ago or a couple weeks ago when you freed those slaves. This was not one of those slaves. And then you're like, he wasn't part of my group originally. So like, when did he join up with and slip into the group? And now that Talbo's thinking, you have no idea. But yeah, so...
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm surely he's the only dragon elf here. So,
Yeah, there might be like one other person who's like half dragon elf or something who has like some
I
features,
don't
but
know, maybe.
Oh, that's actually that's what I am
would
actually.
have noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have mentioned half dragon elf, half normal elf.
Yeah. So.
So it's
Yeah.
so not so pronounced.
Yeah. But yeah. So what is Duncan? What does your character do when they're called out like this?
Hello. You may have noticed. You may have noticed. I'm not meant to be here. You're right. That's okay. Hello. Maybe give him a little bow.
He's like, again, this applies to you too. Formality is not needed. You all are here for your own reasons, and I have brought you here. Elf, I know not what your drive is, but clearly you came here seeking audience with someone as well.
Yes, I did indeed. Hello, Mr. God Emperor. I've come from up north. I heard that there were outlanders from not of this world, you may say, and I believe to have found them, as you have just pointed out, that they are from beyond the barrier. So,
in this case, then perhaps I'll let you stay and discuss, rather than having your head lopped off.
I would prefer that.
Good deal. Good deal. All right.
And so, like, almost, like, not even waiting for a response, he kind of turns and he walks back towards this throne. As he does, he kind of, like, motions out with one of his large clawed hands to a couple of the Boarmen standing to the side. One of them is the 10-foot tall, other very tall Boarman. And he's like, "This is my son, Mulu. The one who brought you here works with him constantly. And and he serves me in all things including as my high priest, spreading, well, the word of the Boarman. And this one here," and he motions to a Boarman next to Mulu. So again, it seems like Mulu, his son, is like his right-hand man, and standing right next to him, so in a very important spot, right, is actually another Boarman who is somewhat scrawny, actually, surprisingly, compared to the completely massive Mulu and the even more massive, like unbelievably massive Kurbak. This is a fairly scrawny-looking Boarman. And Helios, why don't you describe your character?
Scrawny. So, my character, so I'm from this empire, or kingdom of the Boarman. Came from a decent background. Emily runs a smithy. As we're kind of developing, or we're settling into this idea of how do we grow our kingdom. Coming from it's a pretty normal family. Not the biggest. Don't fit into the stereotypical Boarman warrior type. And so I decided, we want to find some different things. And so ended up going off to a college sent by my parents. They did pay for it. To help the family business. Went for business, going into like the Persian style. Ended up not doing too good. Ended up discovering a passion for the music, the arts, the storytelling. And through my education, ended up finding that I was gifted in this. And in time, a lot of practicing, for better or for worse, in the streets. You had to toughen up a little bit, and being not the, again, stereotypical strength of a Boarman. Ended up being discovered by the kingdom and Kurbak, and deciding that I don't just want to stay here and perform locally. I want to travel around, find new things, bring them back to us, and help expand, the good word of the Boarman.
Yeah.
And then bring back the fruits of our discoveries through the art of storytelling.
Yeah, and just looking at this Boarman, did you have a height in mind? Like, again, 6 to 8 feet is like the normal range.
So we'll go 6. And
Okay. Yeah.
we're a little lower on the.
Yes. Yeah, and wearing like your fine clothing, I'm assuming, right? That you have, right? Yeah.
For
So
audience with Kurbak, of course.
yep. So it's not like extravagant over the top clothing, but it is just nicely like trimmed clothing that fits well. With a rapier in the like your belt, right? And you have your instrument, I'm assuming. Okay.
Viol.
A viol. So like a, I guess, what is a viol? It's like a large fiddle or a small cello, something in between. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of in between, but for someone of a Boarman size, it almost looks like a violin.
Yeah.
Wait, you said it's a viola?
Or just a viol without the A, which is like
I
a
think
yeah.
the viol is basically
Yeah. So
the outside link.
yeah. He clearly strikes you guys when he is introduced. He clearly strikes you guys as a bard type, a wandering songwriter and singer and musician. Yeah, and actually, what is your character's name, Helios? I actually didn't even get the name.
That's something that we never quite settled on. We
Yeah.
just kind of went with Helios.
Okay. Yeah.
Like an inspiring name for someone. It didn't.
Okay.
Boarman language. But
Yeah. It
strikes that power of discovery.
Yeah,
Sun rising.
yeah, the character's name is also Helios. Yeah,
Easy enough.
yeah, and yeah, we did discuss that, and I was like, that would honestly work just fine. But yeah, so he motioned, said, Helios here is a newer addition to my court, but is also someone that I trust in certain matters. And these matters are what we will discuss here. Why don't the rest of your little group, if you don't mind, the elf, I want to speak to them as well. But you three, Helios here, Mulu and myself, we will speak. The rest of your group, they can be dismissed. They have lodgings waiting for them. They will be treated as guests.
No, not a problem. I turn around and I just look at all people like behind me. I assume all of them are still like, and I'll look at them.
Yeah.
Rhuk starts to walk away.
No,
I grabbed Rhuk by the bicep. No.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I pat him on the shoulder. I pointed the bandana. I gave him like, Lieutenant, you stay.
Yeah. But yeah. So when you guys when they kind of shuffle out, and a few more of the guards will leave. So that it clearly wants this to be somewhat private. Still in this throne room though, and when that's done, he says, "Tell me of the outside world beyond the barrier. Is it still ruled by the iron fist of the giants?"
How long has Talvo been here for?
Like a year? 2 years? 3?
Yeah, something like that. As far as you guys know, there's no giants that rule
Yes,
anywhere.
they definitely do not know anything about any giants who rule in the world.
We know about half giants.
Well, yeah, so he's like, then much has changed. I do sometimes wish or wonder what it would be like if I could go there once again.
Oh. You're from there too?
No,
Oh.
but I visited.
Oh.
Visited some of the others of my kind. Saw how they groveled before the humans, the elves, the halflings, the giants.
It's too late to mention that I'm vegetarian.
Wait,
I'm not vegetarian.
Sorry about that.
yeah, so he's like, we, our kind were trampled upon there, just as we were here. things had to change.
Okay.
But enough about
So-
me. Why are you two here?
I'm just following this guy, and I point to Talvo.
Hmm. Well, Mr. God Emperor Kurbak, I am looking to amass power and save my friends who are imprisoned with the dragon elves to the south.
And we kind of like look at it's like,
Curious.
Yeah, actually,
Also-
Kurbak actually looks to the elf and actually says, you actually say, "Elf, what is your name? These are Rhuk and Talvo, whose reputation precedes them at this point. But you,
First, ouch, but no, I'm Adau. I'm from Fluria, north of here, far north. I have no memory of the actual dragon elf culture or society, but I may be of some assistance in that regard. Talvo.
I have no love for the dragon elves. Their empire will crumble just as many others have. But they do pose threats to my people.
You have no memory, but you can help.
Is that something I should like? Is that a normal thing?
I mean, if you can elaborate on that a little bit, that'd be helpful, I would suppose.
No, I meant like, was the high pitched voice just? I don't know. That was out of character. Sorry. Well, yeah, I was born
Sorry.
far like up in the warring states part of the continent. I've never been to the homeland, I suppose you could say. But my father, being a dragon elf, I'm sure he has. Well, he may be a little bit, maybe disgraced, slightly. But barring that, oh yeah, on the map.
Yeah, so this is where he was saying that he's from, by the way. So it's way far away from, again, the dragon elves are way to the south off the bottom edge of the map. So very far away from the dragon elves' core lands.
Yeah.
Let me
but
get this clear. Your bargaining chip in is that your dad's useful. Where's your dad at compared to where we're standing at this very moment?
well, you see, he's not with us. He's not dead, but he's
stifling a laugh, just like right next to him.
Yeah, we'll say that my character has more fortitude than I do. He doesn't laugh when he says that, but he's back in Fluria. However, being nameless and with no reputation to precede me, that and with how racially inclined the Dragon Elf Empire is, I think that I could help you there. Of course, we would have to come to some arrangement other than speaking idly in the throne room of a Boarman. But
Can I kill him yet?
The god Emperor
Okay,
speaks.
well, to begin with, Talvo was already quietly impressed with the fact that he managed to slip in and I hadn't noticed him. I was just kind of ribbing him because what the heck?
Yeah.
And although at this point he's augmented the my father is important with my father, he's in the complete opposite direction you want to go. So
Yeah.
I've decided it's maybe we'll deal with that later. Let's address the God Emperor for a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah.
oh, maybe.
AI Kurbak is it matters not if he is a dragon elf or anything. There are mighty warriors of all the races. That is one thing that fighting on this continent for this long has given me insight into. There are many worthy of alliance, even those who may not seem it at first. And this is how the Boarman will thrive and prosper, with allies, by crushing our enemy, trading with those who might be neither. And this is where I wish to make new allies. You all. And he kind of like motions with a clawed hand. Well, more accurately, I find your situation curious. And I think that we could both help each other. I may be able to help you reach your homelands, to get through the barrier. Or if that is not to your liking, I can help you rescue your friends, as you said, Talvo. Liberation is something that could aid my interests as well.
All right.
The price is, well, depending on how much you're able to help me, the price could be whatever you desire it to be.
What in particular were you looking for help with?
He actually takes a scepter and goes boom. And Mulu, his son, who is standing next to Helios, takes a few steps forward. Well, actually, I'm curious, what is Helios's reaction been to all this as well? Like, is he, being a bard, is he like trying to record what's happening for the history books or ballads, or is he more just taking it in?
Maybe like at first reaction, kind of like trying to take it in, and then realizing like how serious it is, like scrambling to like jot down some notes or something.
Yeah.
Like when he slams the scepter down, it's like
Yeah, and it's
a little awkward given the move.
Yeah.
But
It's clear to the rest of you too that like it's fairly common for rulers in general, both in the old continent and here, to have bards who record things in song, right? And then play those songs, just because if those songs are popular, it can spread the glory of the kingdom or the king or queen, right? The monarch's glory can be spread through the bards that they employ. And so it becomes clear to you guys that like maybe that's not what Helios considers himself to be, but that's definitely what Kurbak is intending for him to be. The only thing that's striking is that you never heard of this being done with Boarman before. Boarman have never had a strong bard presence. So, anyways, so Mulu, Kurbak's son, steps forward and pulls out of like his clothes or cloak that he has on a crystal ball, an orb, and he starts to like kind of motion his hand over the top of it. It starts to glow, and a projected like hologram basically appears in the air in the middle of the room. And he says, Kurbak says, as his son is projecting this image, Kurbak describes what you begin to see. And he says, "You recognize her, do you not?" Specifically to Rhuk, like he looks at Rhuk. And Rhuk, you see a little hologram of a floating castle, a floating tower, or keep, and standing on the walls with a Volge in hand is a familiar face.
It's Helga.
Yeah, Hilda. Yeah. Honestly, Rhuk has probably forgotten at this point. Like, it's been like a month since that battle, so he probably is like, I don't give a shit about it.
It's the big lady.
Yeah, it is the big lady.
Giant woman.
Yeah, it's so he sees Hilda the Volge standing on the wall of her castle with a Volge. That's a good question, Zyle. Yeah, it's actually not the same Volge. It looks similar, but it's not the same one. Actually, wouldn't Rhuk have the Volge now? No, we're gonna say that you didn't bring that with you. Because
Let's see if it's in my inventory. No, didn't I not take it because it was worse than my...
yeah, it was Landor had it, and so what I'm saying is I was like I could give it to you, like say that.
Oh, because I grabbed the shit.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say that no, that's with Landor wherever he is in the world.
Fine.
So it's out there somewhere. But you can see that she has a new one in this hologram. More than that, you can actually see the kind of vision expands to show that the flying castle is hovering above a... It looks like a pond with like a construction construction works around the edge of it. It's hard to tell what's being built or anything, but there's lots of activity, and it's almost like it's a live feed. And Kurbak says, "Oh, sorry, what?
How detailed is it? Like, is it would we be able to make out any details?
Not a ton necessarily. Like, it kind of shows her face in enough detail that Rhuk is able to recognize it, and then it kind of and then it just shows like some of the general area around here. It's a forested area, hilly. It looks like, and that's about it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the general location of this, or is it just...
You have no idea where it is, yeah. So, yeah, none of you have ever... Like, to you guys, it looks like it could be in any section of forest anywhere around here. And by here, I mean, like, within several hundred miles, so... Yeah, and so... Kurbak would say... Your old enemy, Hilda, she... gathers strength and forces every day. And in the backwoods of my own kingdom, no less. Well, close enough to be a threat. And you actually all of you kind of see something. For a second, it looks like his cool demeanor shifts. For a second, it looks like he's like a rage is like about to take over. He almost snarls, and then he stops himself. He's like, the giants, as they call themselves. I wish to have them all exterminated.
Well, that should be pretty easy. We almost took care of her last time.
You know not their true strength. I want you to kill her, though. Yes. There are others. Their leader especially. Gorm, he calls himself. Gorm is mine. He took my firstborn, and I will take his life. And when he says he took his firstborn, Mulu kind of like bows his head in kind of out of respect.
I do as well.
Yeah. And he he looks at y'all and he's like, if you'd be willing to work with me to aid in my, well, in this case, with the destruction of Hilda, if you're willing to aid in this, then I can help you in many ways.
So, given the immense power, of course, of the kingdom of the Boarman, and of yourself, yes, you are quite a specimen, quite large and powerful. Could you not amass an army and just obliterate this fortress? I see it flies. That may cause an issue.
He nods. He's like, you think on your feet, elf. Yes, I will be sending a army, or, well, a troop, at least, with you, to deal with the foot forces. But a full army would attract attention weeks in advance, and she would fly to a different wellspring of magic, a different source of power, and in a different strategic location, and I would have nothing.
Okay.
I
There.
intend for you all to go in advance. Scout it out. You will not arouse the suspicion that a group of boarmen would in the area. Scout it out. Well, yeah, he said. You will go scout it out. A few days behind you will be a troop of some of the best boarmen warriors that my realm has to offer. They will travel light and off of any major roads. You will work with them in some capacity. We will figure out the details. But you'll work with them to organize the attack. And you'll strike with lightning speed against Hilda.
I'm down
Yeah.
for a rematch.
Yeah, we will.
Mhm.
I recognize Kurbak is not somebody you would wisely say no to. So whatever he says he wants me to do, I'm just kind of like, yep.
Yeah.
I would like to leave this city alive, so yeah, sure, dude.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, like
Just fiercely scribbling everything.
yeah. But yeah, so yeah, and so at this point he would say to you all, he would basically be like, I do not plan on, well, anything of the sort of you spending too much time with me directly here will arouse suspicion. So from this point on, until you complete this task, my loyal son, Mulu, and my servant here, Helios, will aid you in planning for this journey and this endeavor.
Talvo, teach yourself. You don't want to arouse suspicion by having me here, but you're gonna send your son?
He's
But
not
he doesn't-
going
he-
with you.
But he doesn't say anything.
No, yeah.
He just thinks it
Yeah.
pretty hard.
Uh,
I get the same look back, like,
and yeah, so at this point he'll sit. He's actually been kind of standing. He'll sit in his throne and motion to just like a door leading into this like palace, and say, if you come back from this mission successfully, then we will have many more things to discuss.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Do you have a general idea of where we're going, or just these pictures?
Mulu, his son, will actually speak up and say, and he'll say, outsider, I will be the one to discuss these things.
Okay.
We shall not waste my father's time any longer.
Gotcha.
And Mulu, the 10-foot tall prince of the Boarman, will walk through a doorway, motioning for you all to follow, including Adau and Helios. So, yeah, I'm assuming you guys all follow.
Yeah. I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I scurry out of that room as quickly as
Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, so so Mulu again, this imposing 10-foot tall figure. This castle has clearly been modified so that like the giant boarmen of Mulu and his even more giant father can fit. He leads you through a couple passageways. You see mostly boarmen, like clearly like servants and guards and other workers of the palace, kind of scurrying about. But you're eventually led to a like private war chamber, it seems. And when you kind of get in there and all like sit down, this is the first time now that you guys are in there all together with the four of you. He actually would basically say like he'd be like, one moment, and then he's gonna leave the room for a second, giving you a chance to talk to Helios, if you care to.
What the fuck is on?
I got this job like a month. I don't.
Dude, I'm an intern. No,
I'm just an intern.
yeah. So Helios, I've had a question in my mind for about 40 years now. Do boarmen grow in size based on, like, are they like crustaceans where they grow until they are killed, or how does that work?
I mean, I got a C in my biology club, but as far as I'm aware, or what I have to say, my deep voice, like, from what I am aware, we typically don't live that long, if I'm not mistaken.
If I'm not mistaken.
I do not know the means,
Okay.
and I'm just the intern.
Yeah, you would and it would be like,
Understandable.
it would be somewhat general knowledge that Boarmen live roughly the same age as humans do normally. But Kurbak, it is verified fact that Kurbak has lived for many hundreds of years. No one really knows how many.
The means of which I am not familiar with.
Magic, I imagine.
Bored? I would like I would like to drum duel you.
Oh
I
shit!
know.
Okay, so Rhuk is like telling that this is a musically inclined. Well, and also magically inclined, but so there's a musically inclined Boarman. Does Rhuk just take out the drums and start?
Yep, staring him down.
Yeah, it's funny because Helios, even though your character doesn't have a set of drums of their own at this point, at least not on them, there is in this room a decorative set of war drums.
Are we in a drum battle?
Do you want to? Will you take him up on it?
Let's take him up on it.
Okay. So the way
Talvo skills forward on the bench. He said, just headband. I'm gonna die in this room. I'm gonna die in this room.
This is the moment.
We're gonna be executed for sure.
So so yeah, okay, so in that case, here, this is actually fun. Okay, so then I think Tartrus, you know how to do it, right? Where you do a drum check with the tool proficiency. Okay, so then Helios, the way you do it is that if you click on in the bottom left box of your core part of your sheet,
Okay.
there is tool proficiencies, and your drums should be there, right? Or it's not the very bottom left. It's
Yes, I see it.
If
Yeah.
you just click drum, it'll ask what ability it wants you to use, and you'll use charisma. So both of you do that. Roll me a drum check with charisma as the modifier.
Drum check.
Oh my god.
And
Holy
Oh,
shit.
so yeah, we take the 23 from. Oh, you're rolling as the scout now, bruh.
Yeah.
No, but it's the right
Wait.
roll.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Is the right one supposed to be if you have advantage, you just pick the higher of the two?
Yeah, but if people roll advantage and they don't have it, I always take the left because it's the first one, so to speak.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
but yeah. So actually, also let me add that to your sheet, Helios. By the way, at the top
Yeah.
of your sheet now, I just added. You see where it says advantage, normal, disadvantage, like near the very top.
yes.
Yeah. So now if you change it, you could change it to do advantage, which is 2 rolls that it takes the higher, disadvantage 2 rolls that takes the lower, and then normal. Right. So yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Was
So
that
yeah.
a reroll or was that one good?
No, you're good. Yeah, it worked fine.
Okay.
It's just yeah, you rolled
Wasn't good for me. But
yeah. So yeah. So Helios kind of like maybe is like a little too comfortable. He's like this guy can't do a shit against my skill, right? And he starts drumming away. But then Rhuk just kind of like with just a furious beating on the drums, just like takes over with this like war beat that you've never heard anything like it before, Helios, specifically because it is an orcish war chant, a war beat, and it's similar in the ferocity of it to a lot of Boarmen's like war chants songs, but it is also very different. It's unique to the orcs. And he just, Rhuk just comes swinging with this this beat, and Helios, actually, you're just kind of like shocked that you just kind of stop.
All right. Remember that one.
I'm victorious. You were a worthy opponent, but I have won. I slapped.
So I'm gonna toss a couple copper to to Rhuk.
Yeah. Do you guys talk about anything else? Again, you can talk as long as or as little as you'd like before the dude comes back. This is just to give you a chance to talk if you wanted.
Yeah.
I'm adding that copper to my inventory.
No, yeah, I threw 2 to you. Took 2 out of my, yeah. Hi, hello. You may not have noticed. I'm not a rogue. I'm not gonna, you know. Oh, sorry, I'm not a knave, because rogue is a class, you know. I am no. I don't know what I'm saying. I heard that there were people from another land, in Pune, stirring up mischief. And I thought, who better to put an end to the current status quo than new people? So hello there, people from the other land. How is it going? Why are you here? How are you here? Tell me all the answers.
How is the big question?
Yes, really, it is. We've been stuck here. Well, okay, that's a bad way to put it. But
You're gonna look like
you know,
stuck.
yeah. But there's like I'm sure you know. You crossed the barrier. We literally can't leave. How did you do it?
Terrible storm.
Terrible. Okay.
Terrible storms here before.
Yeah.
No, just kind of like smash my ass into it.
Like Smash.
Yeah. Okay. You
That
know, I
works for me.
guess kinetic energy.
And
That'll
I
do
woke
it.
up here, I guess.
That seems simpler than I was expecting. All right. Well.
Well, the real thing is that Talvo doesn't remember because he was unconscious by the time it actually happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, fair enough.
But he doesn't, you know.
Yeah. I'll relay that word to the Navy. I don't know, the merchants. We can establish a trade route, but only during extremely strong weather. For every shipment of goods that gets through, like 7,000 people die.
And only about 5% of it gets through.
Yeah. But anyway.
The sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yeah. The strong. The Thanos quote. I forget it. You know what I'm thinking of.
I know what I have to do, but I don't have the strength to do it.
No, that's Kylo Ren.
It's kind of.
The hardest sacrifices require the strongest wills.
Yeah, there you go.
We need to get our furs to the other continent.
Oh no. They
The obvious solution would be like build an artificial island and start firing crates into the barrier, and then whatever gets through.
Write that down.
yeah.
Great song.
Railgunning satellites.
So
But yeah, I imagine while we're bickering, you know, they come in, like, who the fuck are these guys? Why are we working with them?
yeah. After a few minutes of just kind of small talk and stuff, you know, then Mulu would walk back in.
Middle of the battle.
Maybe he catches the tail end of the drum battle, but yeah, he comes in and he's like, he actually is holding a bunch of like maps and scrolls, and he starts laying them out on the table, and it's a map of the continent, and he immediately would start talking, and he'd be like, so you all are, most of the major operation has already been planned out. It mostly comes down to what your specific role will be. I plan for... my father and I, we plan to send several hundred Boarmen in the direction of the fortress. We know where it is, at least roughly. It is at a point of magical confluence called a wellspring of magic. These are well, they are hidden in valleys and glades and other locations throughout these lands. And they hold much potential when it comes to magic, and they are normally very well hidden. We know that this one that Hilda has been using for whatever purpose is somewhat near the city of Shiloah. And so Mulu would actually take a like a thing of chalk and actually draw on one of these maps. If it'll let me.
You also draw the our likeness on the bottom of the map.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a Boarman map.
Yeah. Yeah. So he draws a circle around this area of the map, and he's like, a few days' travel away from Shiloah is a smaller town, but still a regional hub of trade that apparently is near one of these well springs. And we heard attacks recently of a group that was apparently hired to find the location before we then found, through the use of my stone, and he holds up his crystal ball again, I was able to deduce that this was someone under the employ of Hilda, and they've since taken up their place there.
So is our role to just kill everyone in the castle or ground it for the Boarmen, for your forces?
My father does not care as long as Hilda dies. She
Okay,
is far more of a
Who are we
threat.
not supposed to kill?
Anyone there you can kill. It matters
All right.
not.
I vote we drop the keep onto Shiloah. I think
He
it'll work well.
Citizens in this town?
he
They're
shrugs
not
and
people.
yeah, he shrugs and he's like, civilians are of no concern to me. Do what you want, but the castle is not above the town. It is hidden in
Yeah.
the forest nearby.
Yeah. We'd have to get it there first. But we're
All,
not-
all he did.
So, yeah, you guys don't know about. Yeah.
So Mulu actually looks at you guys, or looks at Adau, and is like, if you wish to drop the castle on Shiloah, you may. In fact, Shiloah has not been kind to our interests either, so maybe I can organize a bonus payment if you did. But,
Jesus.
but. And you actually see that there's like when Mulu speaks, he almost has like, even though he is quite tall, he's hunched over a little bit more than most other Boarmen, and he kind of has like this dark, brooding expression. And when he says this, he clearly has like malice. Like he doesn't care at all what happens to anyone here. It's clear. Does not strike you as a very like empathetic gentleman.
Oh, he's
Yeah, I got that
the
from,
edgelord teenager.
Kind of, yeah.
One of his tusks goes over his face. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So he's like the important thing is this: you will approach the location of this castle, find the location, signal to the Boarmen coming a few days behind you, and when they attack, you strike the castle and take out Hilda herself. Helios here, and he kind of slaps Helios on the back.
I almost fall over because I'm like half his size. Just...
Helios here has this tool of his, and he motions to the viol, the instrument. He can use it to do many things, including fly aboard the keep if needed. And I will also be providing him with a couple other things.
Viol has a useful tool. Okay.
And you'll be provided with equipment. Your current equipment will be upgraded. if you
Oh.
like. You'll
Yeah.
be, as far as Kurbak is concerned, you are now honorary members of the great clan of Kurbak. And as long as
Welcome.
you work with him more rewards will follow.
We can do that.
Are there any
Sounds-
questions?
Oh wow.
He starts typing.
I'm typing in my notes, sorry, just so I don't forget stuff.
Yeah. No,
Who
it's
just sits
okay.
down, just like
Yeah. Yeah, he brought his
Earthquake all
laptop.
of a sudden.
Yeah.
tremor. Or,
Yeah. In what way? Like, what kind of equipment will we need, or what will we be commissioned or not commissioned, assigned?
Yeah, so here I'm actually just gonna talk out of game voice. So he's willing to. They're going to pay for you guys to have a minimum of +1 to your armor and weapons. So in other words, if you want to swap out your armor for +1 version of whatever you have, you can
Okay.
just
Okay.
I would take the +1.
yeah. So then
Finest we have to offer.
yeah. So then yeah, Helios, you actually had. What do you start with as a bar? You have leather armor.
Yes.
They will give you studded leather armor +1, which will bring your AC from. Hold on. So right now it's at 12. That will bring you to. Let's see if it works. To 14. That's a big jump up. Yeah, I already put that in your inventory for you there, but. And yeah, and +1 weaponry. So this is like a lot of stuff. Like you would know that, like even in the like so for Rhuk and Talvo, even in like the old continent that you're from, that would be a extremely valuable gift to just give to someone. And in this continent, magic items are actually somewhat rarer than where you're from.
Yeah.
They probably can't +1 my greatsword though. My psionic.
Yeah, so your greatsword is already enchanted. They can't really change that. So same with you, Duncan. You have a special weapon. You're not gonna be able to like upgrade that.
Yeah.
So-
What about my weapon?
Yeah, same with yours. Your weapon can't be upgraded, but your armor
Can
can. You
Can I
swap
get
it.
my bow upgraded instead?
Yeah, you could do that. You could swap out your bow for a +1 version of it. So and yeah,
Cool.
and so Helios, they would also give you
Yeah.
a rapier +1. I can get that for you too.
But I have a shield as well. Can I use that for the shield?
Yeah, sure,
Or-
that works. Yeah, everyone gets like basically 2 items, or up to 2. Yeah, like they're giving you a lot of stuff here. This is like a big dump of loot, basically.
Yeah.
But it is very clear to you that this is your down payment, and they expect you to.
Succeed.
Use
Yeah.
it well.
Yeah, and Mulu would make it clear like this is your payment for the work you're about to do. You can also keep any loot you find in the castle, the flying castle, or whatever. You're welcome to keep all that loot, but you're not going to get another payment of this when you come back. When you come back, it'll just be like now. Then Kurbak will also work with you towards your other goals in a way that's mutually beneficial, right? So,
Very trusting. Is what kind of proof do you want of Hilda's death?
Good question.
no need of proof. My crystal ball will let me know.
Oh,
Okay.
sick.
Yeah, I could have guessed that. I suppose.
Carry her head back.
Yeah. 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 All right.
Oh.
Well.
Oh god damn it! I just saw that. Helios, you took heat metal. Oh god, it's really good. It's too good because in my other campaign, all my enemies get fucked over by it. Oh shit. Okay,
See,
I,
see
yeah.
that coming. I paid attention in that class.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my last campaign, I used heat metal on my own gauntlet to brand somebody's face.
Oh my god.
It was, it was rough, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so okay, yeah. I'm trying to think. What would your guys' reactions have been, like visible reactions, if any, when Adau, when Duncan's character was talking about dropping the castle on Shiloah.
Yeah.
I think I would be like kind of, because I'm thinking like the storyteller. You know, it's like, okay, like we want to bring these like great stories back.
That's a story.
Our relations might not be great with Shiloah.
Absolutely
that'd be
mortified.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be a hard to twist into a.
We
wanted
the
to
noble
buy-
heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would definitely be
Yeah.
like a.
You'd have to cast it like we were just like wiping Sodom and Gomorrah off the map.
Yeah. Well, you see, no,
Yeah.
I was half joking. Half joking.
I felt half joking.
Okay. But yeah, so yeah. Okay, so do you have any other questions for him as far as like this job goes? And like so he's also going to give you guys just again out of character, we can just kind of go over this, the logistics. He's going to give you guys a pair of sending stones actually. So sending stones, if you don't know, are like a pager or like a cell phone or something that you get. You can only use it once a day, but you basically send a message to the person who holds the other stone of a pair, and then they can respond to it, and then they can also send one. So technically, it'd be two, one each way, with also a response each way, both times.
Okay.
So basically, he said he's going to give you a pair of sending stones. That is linked to actually the leader of the army group they're sending behind you is Jed, so you already know him.
He was the leader of the prison caravan.
Do I know
Not prison, but you know.
You would know of Jed, Helios at the very least. You know that he is a very respected warrior of the whole kingdom, the whole empire, but also he is a very good friend of Mulu. So
He's a
Friend of a
friend.
friend.
He's a
That
pretty
drinks one.
yeah. And they're sending again like a few hundred Boarmen, which doesn't sound like a lot, except that like one Boarman can one average Boarman warrior could easily take on 2 or 3 human warriors of similar experience. So
cool.
it is enough to not necessarily take over a whole city, but it's enough to certainly, ransack a single castle or whatever. Yeah. Depending on the situation you find there. But yeah.
A recently not floating castle.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So he's also going to give Helios, he's going to give your character 2 scrolls of flying they would actually be upcast. Oh god, what is that normally? But either way, it is upcast. Basically, they're scrolls that you can use to make it so that all of you can fly for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
You only have it's only 10 minutes. You only have 2 of these scrolls, and also because they're upcast, there's a chance that it might not even actually work. But yeah.
But we do have the veal.
Yeah, the veal can also cast it.
So when to get there, when to get back, because it's not going to come crashing to the ground, right?
With us in it, preferably.
Yeah. But yeah. So, I'm sorry.
I don't know the mechanics whereby they fly, but also a question about the well springs. You said they were hidden across the land. Is there an explanation that I would know, or any of us would know, for why they are? Well, yeah, why they are.
Why they picked that one.
So like
That too.
there are some that aren't hidden, and in any case where one has been found, whatever faction found it immediately like fortifies the living hell out of it because they're very valuable. To put in perspective, this would be kind of general knowledge. Well springs have been used in many different ways, but one way is that there's actually a group of elves further west in the mountains who have found a way to harness the kind of magical wellspring that they control to reliably create giant versions of animals. In their case, giant elks. So they have like an entire fucking they have dozens of giant elks that they train for war. So like a giant elk being like literally like 12 feet tall, 13 feet
Yeah,
tall.
elks are already big.
Yeah, right. So
Elk are
and they're
already
also
big.
more intelligent, right? And so like those giant versions of animals are naturally occurring, but they also apparently can be created or modified, or something happens with these well springs, right?
Yeah.
And no one knows what the secret is that those elves have been using, because they keep it very well guarded how they use the wellspring there. And there's a couple other well springs that are known about, but are very, very heavily guarded.
Yeah, not
So-
exactly open to the public tours.
Yeah, exactly. There's a theory that a few of the more powerful Fey creatures of the continent have hidden a couple of them, or several of them. So
Okay.
yeah.
And you said wild magic is stronger here in the New World, which I suppose I wouldn't have any point of reference. But
Yeah.
is the flow of magic like around the continent related to the placement of these well springs, or is that something that a student would know or learn?
That is something that, yeah, maybe someone really advanced might know something about, but not just the average person.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I like heard about it and then I liked it, but I didn't take.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, dude,
So-
did you hear about the string wellspring theory?
Yeah.
Wellspring theory.
Yeah.
Hollow Earth or hollow wellspring.
Oh no. Yeah.
Like if we go to a different one, can that aid us in our quest here?
I mean, if you find a wellspring, it would aid you, like, no matter what, pretty much. But the problem is finding one.
Yeah, we're not gonna stumble into one.
Yeah.
There's one over on 4th. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so,
Well,
yeah, do you have any other questions for Mulu?
Drum battle.
So then, so it's actually one of those things where you're like, okay, we're all done. You all start standing up, and he actually says, wait, I have something else I wish to speak to you all about privately,
Yes.
and this is personal. And he actually goes over to the door into this room, listens to see if there's anyone on the other side. She's very cautious, for he's literally a prince of this place. Locks the door. He says, "Now you're mine." Pulls out his weapons. No, I'm just kidding. No, he walks over to. He actually sits down in a very large chair, and he says, "I also have a job for you all, and I will compensate you as well, separately. This is more personal, although it also relates to the good of Boarman everywhere."
Of course, what do you propose? Does he have a title? Crown Prince?
It would be like Crown Prince, or also High Priest, because he is both of those things.
Okay,
So, which, by the way, you would know, like the religion of the Boarmen is literally that they worship Kurbak as a god. So, yeah. like he, yeah. So, so anyway, so he's oh god, where was it going? Okay, so yeah, so he's like, we spoke about the city of Shiloah, and you expressed your disdain for it, Adau.
Yes, indeed.
Why do you have disdain for them? I'm curious.
Vile scum. Yeah, well, I was a young lad of 35 years old. And,
He's an elf, so
yeah, I'm an elf, yeah, an elf, so I was like 10. We, being the flourishing trade city that we are in Fluria, we're very egalitarian. That imparts prosperity, and of course, Shiloah being occupied by humans. No, I'm just joking. I suppose I don't know the politics. Well, I guess I would know the politics of it. They wanted to take our resources that we had amassed, our bullion and food stores, and so they attacked us and slaughtered our citizens. And those same, I imagine those same people are in power. You said still ruled by elves, so
yeah.
those same, yeah. And so I want to uproot the power structure there as part of my quest in life.
Yeah, Shiloah is interesting because it is a traditionally elven city. But nowadays it's more human than elven, but it's still ruled by elves. So yeah.
But yeah, they didn't kill my parents yet, but are we gonna wait around until they do? But, you know, so that I very strongly dislike the rulership of Shiloah, and their citizens, and just the general architecture and the vibe, you know.
Yeah. So Mulu was like, well, that might work with my own interests then. Do you know the story of my siblings and I?
That you just told us. Somebody told us. Yes, so I do. I've heard the story now. Yes, I'm very sorry for your loss.
My
at
brother.
The hands of those Shiloahans.
Well, not the Shiloahans.
Oh yes. Well, then I didn't say that because I would
no,
remember.
it's the greater giants. Hilda.
Yeah.
Hilda is second in command to Gorm. He calls himself the Great Giant Gorm, and he slew my brother. My sister, she still lives. She's a fierce fighter, as all of us are. She leads a company of Boarmen who fight for profit. And they are currently in Shiloah. They've been under the employ of the Shiloahans for a few years now. And to my knowledge, I believe that I have knowledge that my sister, Locke, I think she intends to attempt to seize power from my father.
That can't be.
That's how you spell her name, by the way. Locke.
Okay. Your father is immensely powerful, and it's in his name that he is omnipotent. I would surely hope she is not so misguided.
She tends to think of herself as being the founder of a second Boar realm.
Yeah.
And,
With a small company?
well, that is...
said
That is why she's somewhat of a threat, is because even though she, well, the profits and everything have grown appealing to many here who venture out and find her company, join them for the amount of wealth that they earn. But I think, personally, it is an affront to our society to start a second kingdom when they could be bolstering the ranks of the first. And you could tell that he's getting kind of riled up with this, right? He's like, they should be bolstering our own ranks against the many foes that stand against us. Instead, they grovel before the humans and elves of these lands as their paid servants. I don't respect it.
So would you like us to remove her from play? Or convince her to come home?
And he kind of like speaking in a hushed tones, like leans in. He's like, those words are heretical. But sometimes heresy is the only way to push forward.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Our people,
putting down an entire cast.
our people should not be lured. Our people should not be lured by wealth to become slaves of the other races. We deserve to be free to kill whoever we want, fight whoever we want, take whatever we want.
Mulu is an Ancom. I like it. We can certainly do that. I mean, I can certainly do that. I can't speak for the other three, I suppose.
As long as she stands as a symbol of order, it stands in the way of the true progress that our kingdom could be making.
Yep. Definitely gonna go talk to her.
But yeah, so he like is looking at each of you, and he's like, You don't have to kill her. Just make
Like a
sure.
sigh of relief.
Yeah, just make sure. Find some way, if you can, to infiltrate them, to embarrass her, to break down her relationships, to make it so she will never be trusted as a leader again. Do this, and you will have whatever aid you want.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Think
We
about-
should.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Will do.
And at this point, he just like, you know what? He's also going to get. No, you're good. Okay. He opens the door, like he unlocks it, swings it open, and then just kind of expectantly waits for you guys to leave. And
I think we skedaddle. We've had plenty of time to get ready. Like we got all of our
Yeah.
equipment and stuff.
Helios, well, yeah,
Time to
the new weapons would still need to be actually brought to you. So yeah, you would be you'd be like escorted to like some chambers that you would just sleep in overnight.
Okay.
But yeah, the idea is that the next day you would be leaving for the main job given to you by Kurbak, right? You'd be leaving in that direction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a drink. I will be back in like 30 seconds. Cause
Okay.
right there.
Yeah.
Forest.
Yeah, actually, no, this I just read this is a good time to take a break. We've been going like an hour and a half. So we'll actually take a quick little break here.
I gotta go take a throat lozenge.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll take a quick little break. And then when we come back, we'll see where this goes.
Okay.
You ignored me.
Hello, hello. I'm gonna
Hello.
unmute us. Let me let me get my volume set up.
Wait, let me know when we're unmuted. I'll just start doing like.
Oh, we are already. Hold on. Okay. Oh god. Okay, I gotta fix the. I don't know why Discord it didn't. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Swear to God, if you make Discord crash again.
No, it's that it. Okay. It's just that it didn't save the like size of the donger.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
there's like. One of the cameras was.
It's
just the wall.
Yeah, it's no, I got it here. I just have to adjust the.
I accidentally changed my scale mail to have 145 AC.
Indestructible.
Yeah. Alright, there we go.
Hey.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. We're better. So your characters would go to it's actually like the place you have accommodations provided to you. Excuse me. Specifically, you would have been given like a like diplomat's suite room that has like no joke, it has like a fucking like jacuzzi. I'm not joking. It's not like a modern jacuzzi. It's like a Roman bathhouse style jacuzzi, but it is a hot tub. Like they have heated water here. So
How do they blow?
We
the
are
pump?
sophisticated.
what?
How do they power the pump? For the jacuzzi?
I mean, it's not like necessarily like it's more just like a sitting hot tub.
Okay.
Yeah, but it has
No
Yeah.
water jet?
no jet. It has like new water coming in.
Said jacuzzi.
We want a water jet.
It has new water coming in from like a spout, and then it has old water is like recycled out, right? Like so it is like flowing water. It's just not like a jet, you know.
I have a moral conundrum for Talvo. The jacuzzi bubbles are made by slaves blowing bubbles into the water. Do you get it?
No. Oh no. But yeah, so you guys would all be taken to this like suite room that has like it has enough beds to house maybe like a dozen people in multiple rooms, but you guys can, you know, chill and talk about your plans here. Continue getting to know each other. Do you guys discuss anything about what had transpired in the meeting?
How about that Kurbak?
Did he hear us?
The big boy.
He is a big boy. He's a large man, or large boar man.
Thank you. Yes. Agreed.
Yes. How are we gonna
Seems
go
like
about this?
Seems like a pretty fearful warrior.
Yeah, I love it.
Out! Get out! No.
All right, we found a target for the castle.
Yeah. But yeah, us. Yeah. How are we gonna go about this? I don't. Do we know how many followers or how many half giants there are to begin with? How are we gonna get the castle? Oh wait, we're going to the castle. We're not bringing it to it.
Yes. And we could bring it back if we have the means.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
once we take it over, bring it back,
Mhm.
then that would be more leverage for them to
Yeah.
help us.
It's
Or I
funny.
guess for us to help you.
It's funny because
Oh.
Duncan has experience with taking flying castles in the
Yeah.
first campaign I ran with him.
There was a small amount of falling involved.
Well, it's falling with style,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
as a great astronaut once said.
Yeah. But
Falling
yeah.
doesn't kill you, landing does.
True.
It's the sun stop. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess so. I suppose we should get.
Hilda
going.
will come to a very sudden stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do we have? We don't have mounts, do we? So we'll be hoofing it.
Kurbak, no.
But yeah, we can Kurbak.
Whoever said
You
that in
probably
chat.
carry all of us, like
Yeah.
in
No,
one hand.
you don't have
Um,
mounts though, no.
Okay.
Can we acquire them?
Yeah, can we buy some? I mean, they're expensive, but
Yeah,
We can trick
they
from the giants.
they have elk mounts. Yeah, there's no horses here. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Oh, I
elks.
suppose they wouldn't fit on a horse, would they? Be too heavy.
Well, just there's no horses on this continent at all.
Oh.
What
There used to be and they died out, like, you know.
I don't know.
No. Fair enough.
But
Okay.
The elk mounts function similarly though, right? So they've been trained. An elk mount would cost. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, how much money do I have? 0.
Elk mount?
You would start probably. We'll say with like 200 gold, Helios.
Okay. And that's
What
the
about me?
GP.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too, Duncan.
I have 0
Okay.
PP.
Yeah.
You would have. Let's see. So, shit. Hold on.
Dang,
Ah!
these
Oh
Boarman-
god, I ruined the cameras. What did I do? Oh
It
no.
just says remove the DM. This is our chance.
Why did it do? Oh, okay, there we go. It's back. Jesus.
I roll to take over.
Okay, oh, jeez.
You fucked us all.
So I'm gonna go based off the normal price that a warhorse would cost. A warhorse in normal D&D costs
back on his end, but not
400. What?
Oh, goodbye.
What?
All right.
You heard
Oh,
the number
it-
and knows too much.
400. Okay.
Yeah, but I honestly don't think that would be. That's like normally like gonna be including like
Yeah,
armor
there's
and
a
stuff.
war horse, like a fully decked out horse. We
Yeah,
just want
so-
like an elk.
So I
Well,
think
like 4, but
this is going to be 200 gold pieces for a elk.
so all of my money.
If you want to buy.
We could pool our money and buy one and a
Telling
cart.
me that these Boarmen would outfit us with +1 shit, but they wouldn't give us a fucking mount.
I have this. They'll give you like 2.
Fine.
All right.
So
They'll
when
give
someone's
you-
tired or not,
Fine, I guess I'll take 2 elk. Okay.
We'll just train one of the really big ones that we find at the wellspring. And we
Yeah.
can all use one.
Go take one from the elk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
All
if
right.
we
Well,
find a wellspring, then we can make our elk big.
Yeah, so
oh,
you
true,
get
true.
you get 2 riding elks then.
Riding elk. Okay. Well, let's buy a cart.
Could I still
Definitely.
could I still buy like a decked out war elk for 450 gold?
If you have that. Yeah, you have more money,
Flex.
right? Yeah. Okay, so then
I would like to do that.
okay. So you want like a decked out like full war elk. Okay. Yeah. That
That's
works.
just the war elk.
Okay.
You have a lot of weapons to sell,
Doing the
right?
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well then you all have elks then. So
Okay.
you want to honestly the cart.
Oh, we were poor, and so
Yeah, the
they
cart
could
would
buy
just
it.
slow you down at that
Some
point.
of us
So.
have the pay to win elks, and some of us
Cringe normie elks.
free to play.
I would like to sell my
Yeah.
+1 warhammer and +1 hand axe that were just provided me.
You know what? You can just trade those for the elk. How about that?
Here, I'll just like perform and like get some money
Okay,
for the
that's
streets.
fine. That's fine.
Are Boarmen good tippers?
Wait, if he's trading, can I get a discount for paying in pure gold?
I said, what's their
No,
current? This is old world, beyond the barrier money.
Don't
I
worry
give you
about it.
400. I give you 400
Oh,
gold,
yeah.
and like you just tell the government, yeah, I sold a $200 ox, and you know.
Yeah, how would that work? Does everyone? I mean, everyone uses gold. Why would we bother making it that complex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will say so. Helios and Duncan. So the way gold works here is that gold here is actually slightly more valuable. Actually, a good bit more valuable for its weight because it's rarer here. Like actual gold currency is fairly rare. So as a result, like all of the currency is like pretty much double the value it would normally be, but so are the prices. So it doesn't functionally really matter, but it just means realistically, or the prices are half, not double. You get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So like basically, if something that would cost 50 gold in the old world, so to speak, would cost like 25 gold here. So,
Okay.
which is not a big deal because you're still going to be you're going to be finding half the amount, but everything costs half as much
Yeah.
normally too. So
Yeah.
But numbered not go up as much.
Funny number.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we all have elk now.
Yeah.
Cart or no cart? Should we buy one? How much would a cart cost us?
Yeah, because I stole 200 then.
You could buy a cart. It would slow you down a bit though.
That's true.
Yeah, like how much
would we
can
rather
we
get
carry
there?
everything?
Oh yeah, I suppose we're not
Okay,
gonna
what's
be.
a-
We shouldn't be doing much
What's the
looting until we
basic
get there.
cart cost?
The base cart is 15 gold.
Oh
Alright,
wow.
what would like a super sweet cart?
There are chariots.
Like hot rod flames.
Chariots?
There's chariots.
Oh.
Chariot would
The
be like
multi-floor mega cart.
a chariot would be like
Double-decker.
200 gold.
Accordion chariot.
No, I don't think we need that.
But, okay,
We
but
won't
the
be
thing
looting
is-
when we get there.
Carts and chariots
Yeah, but
also
how are they
can't be
gonna look
used
back?
off-road, really.
Yeah.
See, if we want to go off road, then we'd have to abandon it.
Let's just put some rubber wheels on it because those exist.
It's in Denver.
Yeah. In Bedrock. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I suppose we should leave. We can get a cart in Shiloh. As much as I hate to patronize their merchants,
Yeah.
there'll be a
Remember,
town at some
We
point.
can't buy a cart from them if we drop the castle on them.
We buy the cart, leave, and then come back with the castle.
Come back with.
Okay. But
We'll
yeah,
burn that bridge when we come to it. Okay.
so
Pod racing cart?
yeah. Oh god, no, that's a reference to the D&D game that I play in on Saturdays. Oh jeez, it's too long of a story. Don't worry about it. We made a pod racer float across water until my
Beautiful.
character fell in and got attacked by a giant squid. And then
Nice.
made sashimi. Anyways,
My favorite Star Wars episode.
yeah. So you guys would spend like the next morning after sleeping this nice deluxe suite, getting your gear situation figured out, getting your elks all geared up. Excuse me, and then heading out, I guess.
I guess.
I think so.
Yep.
Okay.
In style.
Yeah. So in that case, it's pretty much up to you. They would let you know that the Boarman contingent, this little troop of Boarmen that's coming up behind you to be your main force, they are going to leave in a few days. They're going to give you a head start, and then they're going to keep the same pace that you guys are roughly going to be keeping. They would ask you. They're going to leave it up to you which way you go to reach there. You could go through the kind of looking at the map, you could go through like the valleys, right? And like the more
Yeah.
fertile areas, which is it's going to be generally easy traveling, but you'll draw more attention. Or you could kind of go parallel to that on more of the back roads, which is going to be a little hillier, a little less populated, but you have less chance of being bothered by people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we should take the path through the woods, not only because it makes this a little bit stealthier, but the army following behind us, or the troop or whatever, they'll be able to like gather food and stuff. And
Yeah,
water running from those mountains.
Yeah, like we'll be better hidden regardless, but they'll be better hidden on that same path. Like we could probably take the easy path and be fine,
Yeah. I mean, four
but
of us.
they couldn't.
I think Kurbak Mulu told us that the contingent of Boarmen will be taking the back roads anyway,
Yeah.
regardless of which way we go.
Or
Yeah.
I don't think it's too
If something
uncommon.
comes up, we can tell them, hey, take the other back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have
this
sending
doesn't
stones.
work.
Yeah, of course. They gave us two. Who has
Yeah.
them?
The what? Sorry.
Who has the sending stones?
Well,
Because
so
we got a pair, right? So does that mean we have two sets
no,
of them?
so you
Or
have
just
one of them. You have just one
Okay.
that is
Okay, yeah,
linked.
alright.
It's linked to the leader of the troop, Jed, which is short for Jedediah instead of Jebediah. But anyway, so Jed has the other one. It's up to you who holds the one that you guys have. You would decide.
I have pockets.
You would all have pockets.
Just a
A
stone.
civilization as civilized as us and have pockets.
It was just a stone. We could just toss it into
Yeah, no,
the bag of
it
holding,
matters
and so
literally
what?
zero.
Then
We have a
don't
wet
drop,
sending stone. Oh no.
Yeah.
don't drop it on the mountains. Though. There's a lot of rocks there.
Yeah.
Just yelling at a rock and getting no answer.
Yeah. I think we should take the traveled paths for it. I mean, it might take it. I mean, it'll take us less time. And I imagine groups of 4 on elks aren't too uncommon. Well, I know they aren't that uncommon. It's not like we're and we're adventurers. You know, they're around. I imagine.
Well, the thing is that's the way we came from Pune.
Mm-hmm.
And we made a bit of a ruckus in Pune. And word would have definitely spread in the radius from it. So, I think right now, I'd better off not being seen.
They have a disguised kid.
Having killed a
Because they have a disguise.
millionaire and burning his entire estate to the ground.
Based? No. But yeah, no. I mean, we could we could take the back roads, but Helios and I both have disguise kits.
Yeah. But I also am a Boarman, so I don't know how.
Yeah, Boarman disguise.
Open.
Yeah.
Plus, we did raise that estate to the ground with a giant troop of Boarmen. So people in that
Oh, the
area-
Boarman. Oh.
Yeah.
They might be on our side then. Be like, there's one of us, you know?
Yeah.
They could protect us, but then, like, the protection doesn't matter if someone
Well,
can
you
get
got-
words to them.
The thing you have to understand is, like, they're not the ones who were there.
Yeah.
All they heard was the secondhand propaganda that was sent out afterwards by all the bootlickers. You know?
Yeah.
True. I think we could deal with a couple
Anti-fire
bootlickers.
attack!
Oh Jesus.
All right, well, either way, I suppose works. But I think that we could well handle ourselves against guards, ruffians, ne'er-do-wells, and the like.
Rhuk
So-
votes for Hills.
Rhuk votes for Hills. Talvo votes for Hills.
I'll stick to hills, but we could travel we
well,
can
then
like
it doesn't
peel
matter.
we can peel into a town if needed, and then so we won't go
Yeah.
like over the mountains, but we'll like
Okay.
the edge of the woods, you know,
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
we have some content, you know.
it sounds like Adau has been outvoted in this situation, but who knows? Maybe something bad will happen, and then he'll get to rub it in your
Party
guys'
split.
faces. You know?
Oh. Yeah.
That's why I say we travel close enough to a town that we can.
Yeah.
If only somebody here had power over that.
Yeah. But yeah, so you guys head out into the wilderness. It's not really wilderness. Again, these are all kind of fertile valleys here, to the point where it's like you're kind of getting more in towards the foothills near this like western mountain range, right? But it's still pretty tame. At least the first few days is pretty tame. When you're in Boarman territory, you notice that actually, like, you know, it's relatively peaceful in the sense that there isn't like bandits plaguing everywhere. Not nearly as many bandits and stuff as there would be normally in like the kind of conflicted, more like war-torn areas that are just north of here. And there are still like villages and stuff you could stop at. You probably would dip into this like last city of Boar territory, right? And then kind of veer off towards the side a little bit through the foothills, where there are like paths, like little trails, but they are very kind of like rudimentary, right? They're not like paved or even cobblestone or anything. They're just like kind of dirt trails. But yeah, it actually leads to like some very, very beautiful, like not mountains, because you're not really in the mountains yet, but beautiful foothills and stuff like that. Lots of like very forested areas with kind of like rocky crags, and then some areas open up into like meadows and in plains as well. And hold on. So yeah, so as you guys are kind of going through here, actually here, like I always like to do, let's see if I can get it to work here, because I haven't done this in a while. Hold on. What I like to do sometimes, and I just got it to work here, it looks like, is it not gonna work? Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay, what I like to do sometimes is when I'll like find pictures of areas that in real life that I've been to or seen pictures of, right? That I'm thinking of when a lot of times I'll think of an area I've been to in real life and be like, oh, I'm imagining it's like this, and then I like to show pictures. So here's this is what I imagine this area looks like, right? Just kind of lots of forests and rolling hills and rockier crags in some parts, stuff like that. So, just a nice area. As you're getting up into the foothills, with the occasional villages, mostly along streams and rivers, where farming is done. But after a while of this, in fact, I can actually. Here's a fun thing, Helios and Duncan. I don't know if you knew, but the map is to scale. If you use the measuring tool on the left,
Yeah.
you can actually measure like actual distances. So.
Ooh.
So you're traveling. Actually, this is a good question. What is your guys' plan? Do you want to go to Shiloah and then like fan out with your search, or do you want to go to the town that is supposedly right near this wellspring, which is in that red circle? Right, so Shiloah is like a big city. Shiloah is like a major city. Tens and tens of thousands of people live there. And it's a couple days travel away from it's like 3 or 4 days travel away from the town, which is in that circle. And the town is only a few thousand people big, and is supposedly near this place.
I think it makes more sense to see, like to go to the wellspring first, such that we can determine the scale of what we're dealing with, perhaps, and then we can go to the city if we need to find people to aid us, or if we need to decide we don't want to deal with it immediately, and we want to go
information
deal
or
with
anything
Locke
else.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
getting the scope, like not doing anything, just looking at it.
Okay.
Would be the smartest.
first. Exactly. That's what. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So towards the wellspring first.
Yes.
All right. All right. Cool. So yeah. So that'll be like about 2 weeks journey then to reach there. And along the way, you would get daily updates from Jed. He would message you with the setting stone. Who's the one who held it? Who was the one who was
Never
gonna hold?
picked.
Yeah, I don't think we decided.
Okay. Who I guess by default it would probably be given to Helios since he's a Boarman.
Boarman, yeah.
Yeah. So Jed would like check in every once in a while and be like, he'd be like, Helios, we just passed this town, and you would, and you would know that basically as he's updating you, they're a few days behind you still, like they were saying. So yeah, as you kind of are passing out of Boar territory into the hills, it immediately becomes clear that there are a lot more like bandits and stuff this way. You start seeing signs of where like wagons and carts have been overturned from where bandits have attacked, especially in like these kind of like craggier parts where there's lots of rock overhangs that bandits could jump off of or just shoot down from, right? But as you're going, you don't run into anything like this. Yeah, when you guys are camping, what is like the general watch order? What would the watch order be? Because like the way that watch orders work is like, if you are awake for like 2 hours out of the 8 hours sleep or whatever, you still get the benefit of the full 8 hours. So you can. So with four of
We
you,
have 4, so.
yeah, you can each take a 2-hour shift, and there's no penalty.
Yeah.
So
I
what would
guess I'll go first.
Okay, so Talvo.
I'll go last.
Okay. There is also a benefit to having Adau being an elf. Elves only sleep a few hours a night. Actually, they sleep less, and it's not even really sleep. It's like a sleep-like trance.
Yeah.
But so having you watch last means if everyone's sleeping in and you need the rest, then it would work fine.
Yeah.
For him.
Can
Can the Boarman see in the dark?
the boatman?
Yeah, the boatman.
I can. The
the elves can. Yeah. The Boarman. I never thought
But
about
I
that.
suppose it would be better for me to take a night shift, so I can do 12 to 2 or 2 to 4.
Yeah, then I'll do
Whichever
one of the
one.
middle ones too.
Okay, yeah.
I do have that. I have that tiny hut bell. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't think it's big enough to fit everyone in, right? But you could do that with yourself, but but it also is a valuable. You know,
Everyone
spell
gets a
slot.
Yeah, 10-foot radius. That'd be kind of crowded.
Yeah.
Um,
Alright, so,
10 foot tall.
so we'll say that in the middle is going to be Adau and Helios, and then Talvo first, and then I guess that means Rhuk is last then.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, sounds good. Let's have Helios roll me a d4. The way you do that, by the way,
Oh.
yeah, if you just slash, if you type slash roll and then space d4. Okay.
Ooh.
So you guys, one night when you guys are like camping, again, you're in an area where you have seen signs of bandit attacks, so you're a little on edge. But you go, you go to bed and you end up getting a decent night's rest. But when it gets to Rhook's watch, this particular evening, he feels like he is being watched.
Hmm.
Roll me a perception check, Rhuk.
All right.
Let me do a small thing that's very relevant.
Yeah.
The weapon of warning that I have means that none of, oh, you already know. Okay, well.
Yep.
There you go.
I don't.
Oh, you don't. Okay, so
No,
the
no,
weapon
it's-
of warning. None of us can be surprised, and if something would surprise us and we're asleep, it wakes us up within 30 feet.
Yep.
Cool.
Good thing
Yeah.
we only have
Easy.
one tent and we're
So-
all sharing it.
Yep. So no, don't worry. That will, if this turns into an attack, that will, that'll take effect. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
yeah.
So, but right now, with that 18 check, Rhuk, you are able to like look around, and you see off to one side, in like these kind of like pine trees or fir trees, whatever they are, you see a couple of eyes peering out, and the kind of low campfire you guys have is glistening off these eyes.
Seeing these eyes startles me, and I get up and and yelp.
You yelp, yeah. And immediately a boulder is flung from the tree line at you. I need you to make a dex saving throw. You'll have advantage on it, actually.
I will have advantage.
Mhm.
Okay.
And as soon as this happens, like a like ringing alarm noise literally comes out of Adau's weapon, and the rest of you are all like, "Oh god!" like jolted awake by whatever this is.
But I can have like a.
Yeah, and so Adau, you know what this means. The rest of you don't necessarily know what this means. You haven't had this happen before.
Get up! Let's
But
go.
yeah.
Something. We're being attacked. Something's happening.
And Rhuk like dives out of the way as a boulder, like the size of like a smart car, like tumbles
We know
down
what that
and,
is.
and like lands in like the fire where you were. And
Damn.
in
Maybe
a
they just don't like fires.
in a second it will be. Hold on. It will be initiative, but don't roll yet. Don't roll yet because what we're gonna do.
Ooh.
This camp your actual camp might not be this big. There's too many tents, but this is the best one I could find. Hold on.
I want this one.
Yeah. Okay. Here, I'm gonna drag you. Oh wait.
60.
Oh, I
We're
didn't say the
we were
tokens.
camping in the abandoned circus.
Okay, there's one. Hold on. Let me. Okay. hold on.
Yo, it's me.
Yeah, that is him.
Yeah, I
Hold
couldn't
on.
find a picture.
That's fine. That's fine.
Is this the boulder?
Hold on. And then, oh geez, I forgot to save the tokens. Yikes. Okay.
Ring.
Hold on.
Actually, that gives me an opportunity to get my drink out of the freezer.
Yeah. If you need to grab something real quick, hold on. And then Rhuk, and then I don't have a Boarman one. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm just a default picture.
Dr. Pepper acquired. Sponsored.
Yeah, we're sponsored by Dr. Pepper, definitely. Yeah, you'll use the Facebook profile picture for today. That's okay.
Okay, so I can move me.
In a second, once I add
I
it,
see.
yeah, you have to fix it. But now you should be able to move that. And Rhuk, you can move yours, right?
Yep.
How do you
Okay.
move? Oh, there we go.
Yep.
we're just like dancing around.
Yeah,
and then-
what does the number mean above in the green circle?
That is your
That's
HP.
HP.
Okay. Yeah,
And
that
then-
makes
red.
sense.
Talvo. Okay, you should be able to move now as well, TSM. So you can choose which of those tents in the bottom area there. We'll say, again, you wouldn't actually have this many tents, so these ones, we'll say that this is where the elk are instead of tents. So just imagine that. Let me get it so that the stream can see everything. Yeah, so, charging out from the tree line, Rhuk wasn't able to get a good look at this thing. He could literally see its eyes. He could tell they were bigger than just normal eyes. And as the thing kind of reveals itself, popping out from the tree line, you can actually see that it's a giant of some sort with kind of bluish tan skin and a cold, icy stare looking down at you all. So here's what I want you to do. So for Duncan and Helios, what you're going to do is, for all of you, if you click on your token, make sure that your token is selected. And then once it's selected, then roll initiative on your sheet. And if you have your token selected, it'll then pop up in the turn order tracker.
Oh god, hold on.
8. Classic.
And where did my sheet go?
There it goes. Okay, make that small. So all I have to do is just click on it. So it has like the icons, like the red, green ones.
Yep.
And where is?
Initiative is at the top of the sheet. It's it should say like it should have the number 1, and then you click on where it says initiative. Okay, good stuff. Okay, hold on. There's not 2 of them. It just didn't work.
12.
It's why is it not working?
Where do I add a picture?
It's literally not letting me open the sheet. What the hell? Oh, wait, no, that's not why.
Quick! Wow, he's distracted me.
I don't know what's going on. Oh, there it is.
Oh shit, there are 2.
No, there's only 1. It just
Oh.
it just doesn't working, so I had to drag out a second one to see if it would then work. But now it worked. Okay. Another thing, by the way, Duncan and I think Duncan, I think I played this way when we played together a while back. But
crit
just
thing?
well, no. So specifically for I generally roll my dice open. Unless it's something like an enemy stealth check or something, right?
Yeah.
I generally roll attack rolls open, so there's no way for me to fudge, which means sometimes you might just get unlucky and get crit to death quickly. But I think it kind of has a natural sort of drama to it as well. So, alright, and here is Mr. Giant. So, yeah, and so the thing just starts like, basically as soon as combat starts, it is sliding down this incline to get into the camp. It seems a little surprised that you guys are up and at it so quick. But yeah, your weapon of warning, alerted you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rhuk, you are jolted awake and you're like, oh shit! And Rhuk has been in situations like this before. So his fight or flight reflex will kick in. What does he do?
What's the distance a javelin can be thrown without penalty?
I believe it's 40 feet. So if you move up, I think you could do it. It might be 20 though. Let me look.
30.
Is it 30? Okay.
It's 3120.
Okay, so it's 30 feet.
Let's see. From this guy. Right here? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna move up right here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna toss a +1 javelin at giant boy.
Okay. Okay, so he does actually have, kind of like you could see in his little token there, like some like roughly thrown together armor. It's clearly not really made by a smith or a leather worker. It looks like he basically took the hides from creatures he killed, like bears or something, and then just kind of slapped them on. But it is enough to, but it is just kind of bulky enough that your javelin hits, but it just gets embedded in, like, you know, some of the hide that is on his person. It doesn't hurt him. It's functionally a miss. You miss the vitals, so not going to do any damage there.
I'm going to end my turn.
Okay, but I think you have multi-attack, so you could throw multiple javelins.
Oh, I do. You're right.
Yep.
Okay, let's do another +1 javelin at him.
Okay. Yeah, and that one is a
There we
hit.
go.
That one is a hit. Kind of realizing that you need to hit the kind of weaker spots. You aim for like part of his leg that is not guarded or not covered. Okay. And yeah, you do a bit of damage. And he kind of goes like, "Rrr," as he's like about to slide down this incline.
All right.
Is that all? Okay, yeah. And that actually does bring us to the giant. It actually makes sense that Rhuk goes first. I forgot he was the one on watch, actually, so it makes perfect sense that he would have gone first, because he wouldn't even be woken up. He was snapped out of his relaxation by the boulder.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
Oh.
There goes gravity as he slides down the hill.
So the giant is going to literally charge forward. What I will say is, again, I think the elk are here instead of these tents. This tent probably is here, probably has your supplies, you know. And he just is only gonna go boom, 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 and like smash into the like side of this tent. Right. He actually pulls out from his back a great axe, and this thing is like 10 feet long. And he goes, and he looks down at Rhuk and he says, "Puny man."
That's not great.
And he will swing at you with his great axe. Oh god.
Oh, that's why I thought it would be normal.
That's good. There you go. We'll put those ones there. There you go. He smacks at you with his axe.
That does hit.
Okay. Did you happen to rage?
I did not know.
Okay. So he comes swinging in then, and does a big old wallop to Rhuk. As like Rhuk is able to throw himself out of the way partially, but a big gash is just made along his like shoulder, and kind of thrown off balance. The giant bears down and swings again. Oh no! Okay. It does a little less, but still a lot for Rhuk, for poor Rhuk.
I did have 5 temp HP.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, periodically you guys have been seeing Rhuk sit from a bag of holding.
Yeah.
Well, I would have been sipping from it too.
Yeah, they both have been passing back and forth. Jeez. Okay. Let me also just real quick make it. I just realized. There. I'm gonna make it so you guys can see each other. All of you can see each other's HP. Alright, there. You should all be able to see each other's HP, right?
I can see.
Actually.
Oh shit.
Oh, I can see a green bar above.
Oh yeah, I don't think you see the number, but you can see the bar, right?
I only see the bar with
don't
one
see-
person.
Okay, hold on.
I
Wait,
don't
what
see
about?
it above Rhuk. Or the giant.
I see 2 bars now.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't be able to see the giants. But wait, what about now?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, there you go.
That's almost gone.
Yeah. Oh my wow. Oof.
Very cool.
Yeah, so Rhuk is visibly wounded already just from these first 2 attacks, and the thing looks at the rest of you and says, "Leave this one and the elk as my meal, and I'll let you go." That brings us to Talvo.
But then I remember I paid good damn money for that elk. And damn, it gonna take it from me. So I do want to fire him with my +1 short bow.
Okay.
I've never. How do I upgrade my little bow here to +1?
Here I can do it real quick.
Yeah.
I could just change it in your sheet real quick.
Yeah. You could also
my
drag a new
armor.
one from the item compendium.
Yeah, you can do that too if you want. But here once it loads, I could fix it. It doesn't want to load. Why not? That's weird. Yeah, your sheet is not wanting to load for me. TSM. So I don't think I want to be able to.
Well, if you click the little eye that comes up when you hover over it, you can add the AC. Just add to the AC, or not AC, the damage number.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, here I can. Yeah, I can change it now. There you go. Now it is correct. So now actually, if you hit, so that definitely hits, by the way. And if you just click, make sure to click your sneak attack because you will actually get that here too. And then hit the name of the weapon. It should do the correct damage. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Did it add +5? Yeah, +4 plus an additional 1 from magic. So yep, it worked. So yeah, 11 damage normally, and then 5 extra from the sneak attack because even though you're not hidden, the other thing that you can do with sneak attack is that this dude is next to one of your allies, so you are able to kind of hit a weak spot that's exposed by Rhook's flailing around in pain. And so yeah, you land a good shot like in this thing's like armpit, and it's like just like pissed off and hurt, but not too hurt by this. It'll take more than that to really put a dent in this thing.
Okay. What can I do with my bonus actions? I know I can hide, but I think I'm already kind of hidden, so...
You could try to, like, hide behind, like, one of the tents or something, so...
Yeah, you want to put me, like, behind this little, like, crate here?
Yeah, roll me a stealth check.
Okay. I added a picture, but I don't think it'll show up.
Let's see.
Unless we can replace the icon.
No, we can worry about that.
I'll do later.
Yeah. Okay, so you are effectively hidden from this thing. It actually looks around, trying to see the source of the arrow, and
ignore that.
It's like yeah, you're good. And it's like where where are you? And you are hidden though, for now. Adau, it is your turn then.
Yes. So with my bonus action, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
So my AC goes up from 15 to 17, and I don't think it did that on the sheet, but
no, you just remember it though. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna mess up the map so I don't click on myself, and but move 5, 10, 15, or 5, 10. 20 feet here.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my action to... Is that an action? I think it's an action. Yeah, I'm going to use my action to cast Inflict Wounds on the giant and grab his leg.
Okay.
And inflict some wounds upon him.
Okay. Yeah, so you reach out and try to grab the giant. And you manage to grab its leg and just unleash necrotic energy into it.
How do I do the damage for it?
So if you just click in the chat where it says inflict wounds, like click the name of the spell, it'll actually roll the dice. Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
And yeah, and inflict wounds is a for a first level spell is very strong actually. 13 damage is not bad at all. As you just kind of pump necrotic energy into we'll say this is the same spot that's already been hit by Rhook's javelin. So now this wound just kind of shrivels up the flesh around it, and this giant looks down and is like infuriated by this. Okay, and that brings us to Helios.
Okay, I'm gonna need a refresher on what all I can do.
Yeah. So generally you have like your actions. So actions would be like either attacking. Some spells call out what it takes. Lots of spells are actions. You have your movement always that you can use, right? That doesn't take away from your actions or anything. And then some spells in your case have bonus actions, right? So like if you're looking through your spells, right, you can always just go up and stab him, right? But if you want to stay back, if you're looking through your spells and you find one that works, it'll tell you if it takes an action or a bonus action.
So they'd be like casting time, one action?
Yep, exactly. That's what you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So enlighten me on what unsettling words would do in this situation. If
Uh,
I'm allowed to ask.
throw that in the chat. If you click on it, it should put it in
Yeah.
the chat.
Oops.
Let's see.
Um,
Or I think it might. Yeah, there you go.
there it goes.
Okay, so this is a bonus action, right? So this wouldn't even take your
Okay.
normal action. This is a bonus action that would then make it so that it would have a penalty on its next saving throw.
Okay.
So-
And the saving throw is used when?
That is used to resist some spells. So like some of your
Okay.
spells. So for instance, if you have a spell that takes an action, like I don't know, do you have like let's see, do you have? Here, I'll look at your.
Like hypnotic pattern?
Yeah, that one is actually one that if you look on that one, you see how it says each creature in the area who sees the pattern must make a wisdom saving throw. And then if they fail, they're like basically stunned.
Okay.
And so this is one of those situations where that takes an action, hypnotic pattern, right? And your ability, unsettling words, takes a bonus action, and you get one of each. So you could do unsettling words to give him a penalty, then do hypnotic pattern, and he has a penalty on making that save.
Interesting.
So the one thing I would say is like,
Go ahead.
hypnotic pattern. It does. It'll basically stun the creature, but they will. If they take damage, it unstuns them from
And I
anything.
assume we want to damage this thing.
Yeah. So
So,
something else instead, like let's see.
heat metal. But he's kind of like thrown like hides together, so there isn't really much to work with.
Yeah. He doesn't really. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like his weapon
Is he still impaled with something that's made of metal?
No, he like nothing but like that deep into him.
Alright.
What about my arrow that hit his armpit?
Don't you need to touch it as well to heat it?
No, it's just within 60
No.
feet actually.
You can
which is
see
pretty
within
good.
60.
Yeah.
Cool.
If I were to
Um,
heat up the arrow in his armpit, would that do any extra damage?
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
I
tell you
would
what,
say.
I'm about to shoot another arrow.
I would say you could heat up the arrow.
What if I heated up his arrow before he fires it? Do anything?
I mean, you honestly, I would say you can heat up the arrow that's already in him, and it'll do the initial damage. It's just that he'll immediately rip it out, so it wouldn't really do any more than that.
Yeah. So if I heat up the one he's about to be shot with, would that be any extra damage?
Yeah,
Or
it
just
would be.
shooting a hot arrow.
It'd be extra damage if it hit right, but
Okay. Well, then what if I did that combo? We'll do if I can do unsettling words first, and then also cast heat metal.
well, so in this case, I mean, so like,
How does it?
so the heat metal thing, it just does the damage. There's actually no
Okay.
saving throw. There is
Gotcha.
a saving throw to see if he can hold on to the item, but he doesn't want to hold on to the arrow in him, right? So it wouldn't really matter.
Yeah.
So in that case, you wouldn't really even need to use your unsettling words.
Yeah. I mean, we could if I want to use a different one on another turn. That would help set up for a future one.
Yeah, it's up to you. But well, that only lasts till start of your next turn, though.
Oh.
Here's one thing, though. If you don't need to use unsettling words. You also have Bardic Inspiration, which also. So if you look at Bardic Inspiration, you use a
Yeah.
bonus action on your turn, and essentially you buff one of your teammates.
Okay.
You want to be popping that left and right.
Yeah.
All right. So who should we buff the guy with half the HP there?
Yeah, Rhuk might need it. So yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, basically you just give him Bardic Inspiration. You say, "Hey, Rhuk, the idea is that in character you say some words of encouragement,
Here we go. I'll help you.
like playing a tune." Yeah. So Rhuk, so then Tartrus, what that
We'll do that.
means is that what that means is that then in the next 10 minutes, so basically like the next forever in combat, whenever you roll a like d20, right, whatever it is, an ability check, a saving throw, an attack roll, you can add a d8 to it.
Oh,
Well, you roll an 8-sided die and add that to it.
okay.
So that would be your bonus action, Helios. And then what do you do with your
Okay.
action there? So
Oh dear. Good
This is-
question.
yeah, this is where again, if you wanted to do the heat metal thing, you could do that here.
I could. Yeah. All right. So we'll do that. Yeah. We'll heat up the hot arrow, and then we'll also cast Bardic Inspiration for Tartrus.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you heat metal, and you want to do that all in the one that's already in him, right? Since that's just gonna.
Well, if he's just gonna rip it out, then why don't we do the one that's gonna do more damage on the next turn?
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So
the arrow about to be fired.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So then. Okay. Cool. So then that will take effect once we get to that point.
Okay.
Yeah. Then that will take us to Rhuk then.
Does that inspiration count for damage and attack rolls, or just attack rolls?
Just the attack roll.
D20s.
Attack rolls. Okay.
Yep. And
Alright.
you just use it once, right? And then it's
Okay.
gone. So.
Oh.
Yep. So it's something to be saved.
So, but can I do an attack roll and then decide if I want to use it?
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
the benefit of it is that you can, if you do an attack roll and you already know it hits, right? Then you don't need to use it.
All right. I'm raging it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, please rage.
Yeah. I misremembered. I thought if I didn't attack him with a melee weapon, it would go away. So that's why I didn't rage.
Yeah, but also if he hits you, which in this case he did.
Well, it's just attack him regardless. I don't have
Yeah.
to use a melee weapon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. And I'm going to double tap him with a greatsword. Oh.
Okay. So yeah, so whipping out the greatsword now. That is definitely a hit. Yeah, and oh god. And so yeah, so the rest of you see Rhuk just wielding this greatsword that actually you've seen it, but you haven't seen him wield it until this point. It actually has like a purple crystal embedded in the pommel stone, and it has this weird kind of purplish sheen over it that it like slices through the air with. And yeah, Rhuk wields it with great deadliness, lethality, as he just like hacks away at this thing. The thing is pretty hurt. Actually, let me look. He's actually visibly wounded already. So,
Nice.
yeah, he's at half health basically. Already. Do you do anything else, Rhuk, or is that it?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. It is the giant's turn now, and it looks at like between Rhuk and the more armored Adau, and it is going to kind of switch its target temporarily to Adau. So Duncan, what's your AC? You said 17 now?
Yes.
Okay. So he's gonna come slamming in at you with
He has disadvantage.
oh god damn it. Okay, hold on. What you said the first case, yeah. Until the start of your next any attack roll that isn't oh god damn it. Okay, so it's gonna swing once at Adau. Oh, yes, lovely. Oh, it has disadvantage. Sorry, hold on. God damn it, that makes a difference. It makes a difference.
I goes to the defender, right? So either way.
No, tie in the case of armor class will hit because it's like
Okay.
because it's like that's the number you need to meet.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I haven't played in a while.
but no. So since he has disadvantage, technically that's all. That's just the first attack. He is. I forgot to roll disadvantage. So that's just one attack, which means a 16 barely misses your shield of faith. It's one of those things where like he brings the axe bearing down on Adau. Adau holds up like his weapon. His was it a
Bill hook.
yeah. It tries to like knock it out of the way. Actually fails because it's just a big weapon, but the magic surrounding you kind of goes like boom and like deflects it to the side, and it hits into the ground instead. And it's interesting because you actually, Adau honestly can kind of feel like there's some other kind of force invigorating him. He's not sure what it is, but there's almost like there's something emanating from Rhuk, who's fighting beside him. And the giant also kind of is like what's going on here? Looks back and forth between the two of you. Rhuk is probably doing like a battle cry, and he's gonna swing the second attack at Rhuk.
Fair.
Oh my god.
So luckily it's halved now, so you only take 6 from that, which is like not bad at all. And he's like he's starting to look a little concerned with the situation though. Talvo?
Alright. First, I'm gonna move. that, and then.
And since you kind of hid from him, you actually have advantage on your first attack here. Or, well, yeah, I'm assuming you just have one attack, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a hit. Okay, roll your damage. Oh god, that's so much sneak attack. Yeah, and so just kind of like flanking him a little bit, you go and land it right in his like thigh, and he's like between a gap in his armor.
All right, and then I'm gonna use my bonus action. I can actually dash with my bonus action.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go.
Yeah, rogues can move all over the place.
I'm gonna go like way back here. Keep the meat between
okay.
me and him, but maybe next turn I can go in and give him a good old stab.
The old
Where were you standing? Actually, here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, unfortunately for you, and this makes sense, Talvo didn't actually realize that he has this much reach, but you actually were barely within his range, his reach, and as he kind of like sees you after you hit him, he goes like and just like lunges out with the great axe as you try to move away from his reach. And it's a thing where normally I would tell the player, but like in this case it makes sense that you wouldn't necessarily know how much his reach is. But now you know, he has 10 feet of reach.
Oh, okay.
He will have disadvantage though, so...
Okay.
Yeah, he misses terribly. In fact, like, he swings so hard that he goes like over his own shoulder and like throws himself off balance. So he doesn't get his cheeky attack in. What does Adau do then?
Well, first, of course, I'm gonna take my bill and I'm gonna raise it up and try to embed it into his chest, the curved bit at the top.
Okay.
That's kind of like a mini scythe.
Okay.
So let me make an attack with that, and I click it, and it does that. 17, the hit.
A 17 is a hit indeed. Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot I don't have.
Oh, it should.
Wait.
It should be. Oh, actually, your modifier isn't actually even applying, because. Hold on, let me look. Is that no? That's not a +1, but it's just a normal magic one.
Yeah, just normal magic right now.
But you would have. Hold on, let me.
Because I am proficient in it, so I
Yep.
should have a +3.
What
But,
is your? Oh wait, you actually only have 10 strength and 10 dex.
Yeah, so.
That's funny. Oh no, so it is right then. Okay.
Oh, it is.
You
Oh,
just
for
don't have any
for
strength.
attack, not for damage.
Yeah, no, for both of them it's right, because you would get the +3 from proficiency, and then for the damage you only add your strength itself. So,
Yeah.
which is a 0. I actually
Zero,
forgot. I didn't
yeah.
realize that your character is average strength. It's fine.
Mhm.
We have above
More of a
average
baby
mental
boy.
stuff. So,
Okay.
okay,
Hold on, let me. So I do have nothing that I can do.
okay, yeah, for bonus actions or whatever. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, but still, you get a little bit of slashing damage in against this guy's chest, like you said. It doesn't really get hooked into him like you wanted, but it does do a bit of damage. Okay. Helios, what do you do?
I have a question for the party. How many of us have the ability to reach this guy from slightly over 10 feet but less than 20 feet?
Wait a minute. Did my arrow not do any extra damage because it was heated metal?
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Okay, well, we gotta roll that now. It would be an extra Helios, yeah, your heat metal.
Okay.
If you want to roll, it would be a slash roll and then 2d8.
2d8s.
I
Damn.
think you can also click it, right? Or will it just?
Oh yeah, if you cast it in the chat before, and then you can just cast it.
9.
Okay, so 9 more damage that the arrow would have dealt from. It would actually have a cool look of like almost like a tracer bullet when it goes through the air. As soon like Helios is watching the arrow, and as soon as it he doesn't do it before it gets launched because you don't want to accidentally hurt Talvo. But as soon as it leaves and goes through the air, it like kind of starts glowing and like sizzling, and then goes, zzz, and he's like as it is burning him and pierces his skin.
Nice. Okay, so how do like spells work? So if I just did those last time,
Yeah, so that would be.
did that change anything for this
That was
turn?
last turn.
Yeah, so
Like, I mean, like, am I able to use spells still? As
yeah,
a
yeah.
cooldown or what?
You now can use right as long as you have the spell slots for it. You can use another action spell this turn or whatever. So
Okay. So, I'll re-ask the question. How many of us can reach this thing from beyond 10 feet? Because his swinging range is clearly 10 feet.
I don't think none of us with melee we'd have to throw or cast a spell.
Okay.
yeah.
But you I should mention I don't think you need to use another spell slot. It's just a bonus action to do the damage again.
Oh yeah, that's
heat
true.
metal.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, for the for heat metal. Now that the arrow is embedded in him, you can actually just use your bonus action instead of using a bonus action for anything else like you would.
Yeah.
You can just
I can just do that again.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and it would happen right now. So.
Interesting. Okay, so there goes that plan to levitate him. Let's see. Creature I touch. So whenever it says like a creature, that can be like a party member, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. So for good
Okay.
spells, healing spells
Can
or helping
I-
spells.
Jump 30 feet to Talvo.
I mean, you have 30 feet of movement like every turn to use.
Oh,
so.
perfect.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be when. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to jump to Talvo
Yep.
and use cure wounds on him to get some HP back.
Okay. Yeah, and
If I do that correctly.
Yeah. No, that works. So then, if you
And
should...
then I'll heat metal again on the air that's stuck in him.
Okay. Here's the
Use an
question:
extra.
do you have cure wounds? You actually have cure wounds on your instrument too that you could use. If so,
Oh.
you get one free use of that from the instrument every day. So if you wanted to do that,
Then I would save the spell.
and it's actually even a
Okay.
higher level version of it.
Okay, well then we'll do that then. Okay, so
Okay.
we'll use I'll walk at them, smack them with the viol, and be like, all right, now you're healed.
Well, it's more like you play the instrument next to him, and
Yeah.
So yeah, so kind of like hopping forward and playing, actually very nimbly and gracefully for a Boarman. You see, you see Helios leap forward, bound forward, like strum a chord, and then like reach out and touch you, Rhuk.
Oh, it's for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Rhuk, sorry. Whoever clearly has lost a bunch of HP.
No, yeah, it'd be for Rhuk. I knew who you meant. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it would be, hold on. You're gonna roll 3d8 plus, hold on. Yeah, I gotta look at your sheet, hold on. You're gonna roll 3d8 plus 2.
Did it ever-
Yeah, that is right. It's just a low roll.
Oh no.
But yeah, so using, and it actually is clear to all of you, especially to Adau, who knows magic. It is clear that this is actually a magically enchanted instrument, which is fairly rare, but it's a known thing.
You couldn't tell by looking at it.
you couldn't tell by the roll, but
Yeah, yeah, So Rhuk heals a little bit. Helios is now in there with the boys, and then if you want, so you do still have the bonus action where you
Yeah.
could deal that damage again if you want, Helios.
we'll do it again.
Okay, so yeah, so roll another 2d8 then.
Please, for the love of everything. There we go.
That's what it
Not bad. The giant is pretty hurt at this point. Okay, that brings us to Rhuk.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do, baby. I'm gonna double tap him again. No.
That's a hit.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, he's still alive. That is also a hit. Yeah.
Let's go.
He's very close to death at this point.
Oh,
Nice.
choked.
He is. He's like, ow, as he's like getting hit from all sides. But yeah, is that all?
I'm looking.
You're just like dealing all this damage. Is that all?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Like
take
you good
my
man?
bag of holding and try to put him in it.
No, you can't do that without an action. Also, you can't fit in it. His arm wouldn't even fit in it.
What happened to the other? Do I have the other bag of holding, or do you have it, Talvo?
Talvo has it, I think.
Talvo has it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
I
I,
have it because you're like, what have you put a bag of holding in the bag of holding? You're like,
so,
hold on.
yeah.
Kill all of us.
yeah, it's funny.
Holding inside out.
Well, it's fun. Oh, gee.
It's not even worth trying to explain to him how bad it would be.
Rhuk is
Move
like
it as an option.
It's funny because Rhuk would be ignorant of the bag of holding thing that you can't put them inside each other, but Tartrus was also ignorant of that until last session. So because he's never played DD before, so he doesn't know that that's not a thing to do. But so it works. Anyways, the giant is going to like look around at you, seeing that Rhuk is the most injured. He's gonna try to scoop up Rhuk and run.
No.
So it'll be a contested grapple check. So you can either roll athletics or acrobatics. If you do athletics, you do have advantage.
Yeah, athletics.
Yeah, you have advantage because you're raging.
Oh, come on.
Okay,
Buddy.
he does have a high roll.
Let's go.
Oh god, he was a +9. He rolled badly.
Let's go.
So he tries to like scoop you up. It's like, it doesn't work. He is literally just at this point going to turn and run. He's not even going to disengage. So it actually will provoke an attack of opportunity from each of you. But except for Talvo. Except for Talvo, I guess. But yeah. So Rhuk and Adau and even Helios can make an attack with your melee weapons if you'd like.
All right, let's go. Oh, that's sorry.
It would just be the Ted, which is a miss.
But if I add,
Oh, you do have the Bardic Inspiration.
1d8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
4.
Still a miss, actually. 14 is still a miss.
Okay.
13 still a miss, unfortunately. And so Helios, you could try to stab him with like your rapier real quick.
Just real quick. Sure. Unless, like, does it have to be a melee thing?
Yeah, it would have to be.
or a reaction.
It actually, yeah, it has to be. In this case, for you, it would just need to be the rapier because.
Yeah, we'll try to stab and then why not?
Okay.
Alright, how do I do this?
So you just click where rapier is on your sheet, and it should
Okay.
in the like attack section.
Ow.
No, not there.
I am
the
really
attack
good at
of
using this.
spellcasting. Yeah, in the middle.
Yeah, it's in like the middle of the sheet. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, not it. But you all try. So this thing actually manages to kind of start running up the hill. And this hill is not something that you would normally be able to climb, but this thing is big. So it just kind of stumbles up to the top where it looks down, and actually it just like grabs a chunk of rock from next to it and goes "Rrrr," and flings it back down.
Cool.
It's gonna fling it at Helios here. So Helios, it's gonna fling a rock at you. Does that hit? I don't even remember.
Just rock.
Yeah. What is your AC, Helios?
Uh-oh.
It should be at the top.
Wasn't it 14?
I think it is 14. Hold on, let me. So it'll be at the top.
It's loading.
Oh yeah.
14.
Okay, so it does hit then, right? A match is a hit for AC, and so it will actually come. Oh god, pummeling into you.
Jesus.
Ow.
I'm gonna reduce the damage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Actually, wait. Would he have disadvantage, or is that only from melee stuff? What does your thing say again, Rhuk?
Who, me?
Yeah, you're a spirit guardians. What is
I think that's. It might be melee. Let me see.
Any attack roll that isn't against you is what it
that's
says.
true. Yeah, it's not just melee. He would have.
And if they hit a target, then that target has resistance.
Oh my god.
So okay, so then I need to re-roll to see. He still hit. Okay, so it would have been. It's 34, but that gets halved by his ability. So again, it's like the rock. It hurts like hell when it hits you, Helios. It goes like boom, but it feels like there was just kind of a slight bit of like. Just like this aura emanating from Rhuk that just kind of like weakened the blow somehow.
Still feels it.
Yeah. So you actually take 17, which becomes 11. You only take 11 in the end.
That's good. Jesus.
Yeah. And by the way, so for Duncan and Helios, since you haven't, actually I don't know if TSM knows this, but if you click on your token and like if you click on the token, you can actually just like edit the number to like change the bar to represent your HP on the fly.
Oh. I don't have those options. Oh, so not in the.
Yeah, you should be able to with this.
I would just.
Nah, yeah.
Okay, so
No,
they took 11, so I'd be 28.
Yeah. And yeah, you can actually also click on it and then just type -11. It'll automatically subtract it too. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, so in that case, the giant has attacked and it has moved, and that's all it can do. So that brings us to Talvo.
Oh god, nope.
So, do I have enough movement that I could move my elk? And I guess more what I want to know is how well is my elk at climbing up that cliff face? I do scrambling.
I mean,
it's a badass giant elk.
It would.
That was a 400 gold elk.
It would. Let's see. It would be able to. You would have to move like 15 feet. We'll just say it's this one. And then that's like half your movement. You would then have half of your movement left, which would be the elk's movement of 30. So you can make it. The only thing is that you would have to also spend an action to mount the elk.
I'd spend an action to mount the elk?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well in that case, I'm
Throw
just
a
gonna
fireball.
move. I'm gonna move. What is this?
Ba, 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 ba.
Oh, that's not good. I'm gonna move the base of the cliff. I'm gonna shoot an arrow up there.
Okay. Yeah, you just like move up and go. Would you have? I think you. Would you have advantage? Did you hide last time?
No, I used my dash last.
You could hide. Try to hide here before you do it. I'll be generous and say.
Oh, okay, I can bonus action my hide first.
Yeah, you could do
Yeah,
that.
okay.
And the idea again is not hiding in the sense that he forgets where you are, but it's like you duck behind a tent or something, just long enough that he doesn't know when the attack's coming, which gives you the edge. So do a stealth check real quick.
He is
And
running away.
okay, he does see you, so you won't get the benefits. In which case, it will be a
Okay.
miss, unfortunately,
Son of-
because it'll be the 9 on the left.
Alright.
All right, is that all?
Yeah, that's all
Okay.
my action.
Yeah, Adau, it's your turn. This guy is pretty hurt, but he is running.
All right. I'm going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Um,
As he's running, he's like, keep the rocks. I mine them, but you can have them.
Looks like. Oh yeah, he's got to make a Dex saving throw, DC 13.
Yep.
Or
so
he takes 8 damage.
He fails, and he only had 7 HP left, so he dies. Yeah. I imagine it's just like the flame envelops his face or something. I don't know. And where would you target on his body to bring him down?
Probably his head. It says flame-like radiance descends on him, so
Okay,
down
yeah.
onto his head and covers his body.
Yeah.
Burns his eyes. You know.
Yeah, and he just goes like, "Ah!" and he'll actually fall
Just playing
backwards and slide back down, almost crushing Talvo.
Give
But
me the Dex save. Give me the Dex
no,
save.
you're good. Talvo's nimble enough that he just leaps back like, "Oh shit!" And the giant is here.
We got dinner.
Oh, God. Well, yeah.
We don't have to eat, or we don't have to hunt anymore. Giant.
But yeah.
Is that
So-
cannibalism, eating a giant?
I don't
Oh,
know.
we're small, so no.
True.
Well, yeah. So the giant has collapsed here, and you guys
Well-
are safe. You know. I'm assuming you probably like look him over and loot his body and stuff.
Yeah, we're awake now too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well loot him. Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
here 1 sec. Let me grab the
woke us up.
DMG. We'll do rolls for loot. How about that? That's fun. So hold on.
Do you want to cut off his horns? Oh, it's a helmet. Never mind.
Okay, let's see. I want so Duncan. Why don't you roll for me? Where is it? Oh, here it is. roll for me a D100, Duncan. Okay. And then Helios, roll for me a D6.
I got a 6.
Yeah. Okay. And then everyone roll a D100 again. Everyone roll a D100. You guys did decent rolls, so he's
Cool.
gonna have.
Cool.
75. I hope everyone rolled low.
Yeah.
Roll up 13.
Okay, so
75.
this is funny. Okay, I know what this is gonna be. I know what this is gonna be. Hold on. I flipped too many pages. Okay, so
Everyone's body like flipping pages.
so you rolled on the lowest table, but you actually got 4 rolls, which is nice. So you actually get a few things. Here's the funny thing. Yeah. So the 3 of you who rolled low, those all are potions of healing. What I'm going to say to make it make sense, he didn't. It's not that he had 3 potions of healing. He had 1 giant-sized potion of healing, and then you split it into 3 because that's how many you could get from it. You would have your own bottles you could use. So,
that's funny.
so yeah. So you have 3 potions of healing. You can figure out how to split those up, and then the 75 is actually a spell scroll, and it's going to be.
Oh, I found where I am. I'm over here. Look. There I am.
The spell scroll is going to be a spell of locate food. What is it called? Not locate food. Locate animal or plants. That's it. Which,
Oh.
They're all there.
which-
There's one. I found it.
Yeah, right there.
yeah, which
How do I click?
let's see. Bards can use it, so Helios would be the only one who could use it. But
Here.
And he found it, so there you go.
right. So yeah, so you have 3 potions. I don't know how you
another
want
one.
to split that up, but
This giant came to get to us, to eat us. He had a scroll of find animal or plant.
Well, I mean, he found animal.
Maybe he had 2 and he used it to find us, yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think each of us should grab or pour some potion, split it into thirds, 3 of us,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to use that right away, actually.
That's what I did too. Oh, used it. Oh, I didn't need to use it, but I already, all right.
That heal me, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can do a thing. Actually, no, I can't because I spell slots. So I have 3 potions of healing if you want another one.
Oh, I have 5 already. That's why.
I forgot you
How
have
do I
so
get-
many.
Holding him. So how do I
walk around just clinking like?
how much does it heal me today?
2d4 plus 2, so you rolled it. Okay, yeah. So then who
He's
is?
like a. I have like a mass healing spell. I don't know. You have to use this outside of combat.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
healing words thing, or whatever. So
It's
you,
one
like,
of those things
Yeah,
where
I have
normally.
I have mass healing word.
Same here.
Okay, yeah. It's one of
Can
those
we do that
things.
instead of using
I don't know if
potions?
it's a ritual though.
Yeah. You.
That way we
I don't
save
think
the
you
potions
can.
for a situation when we need them.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is like you're about to finish your rest too, so you're gonna get all that back in a second. It's more like if you
How is that
think
how that works?
it's like well, yeah, if you get interrupted with during your rest, it's still like you still get it
Okay.
back as long as you resume the rest right away.
Then yeah, I'll heal you with my words,
Yeah.
and I'll cast it at 3rd level because I'm getting it back. So that's
Yeah.
Really,
However,
the only reason you wouldn't want to is if you think you're about to be attacked again, which
yeah. There you go. 11 HP.
I'll save one
Okay.
just in case.
Right. And yeah, so so you guys find some kind of basic loot off of him, but yeah, still it seems like he was alone. There's no other giants around that you could tell. And in fact, you would
We
also
could tell.
know, you would know that all of you except for Rhuk, who is the most new tier, would know that giants are very, very rare on this continent. They are like they exist to the point where like every giants on this continent are like dragons in normal D&D. They are like a once in a lifetime thing that you might hear about the neighboring village getting attacked by one or something, right? It's very they're not just wandering around. Ogres and trolls are a little bit more common, but giants like true giants like this one, fairly rare.
I don't know. He seemed kind of like a bitch.
Just our luck.
Yeah. And it's funny because Rhuk has fought the so-called greater giants, right? Sten the Brute and Hilda the Volge. They were very different. They didn't remind him of this lumbering oaf at all. This giant was kind of just a lumbering oaf who just attacked you guys, and you guys pretty much easily wiped the floor with him. I mean, sure, he did big damage when he hit, but he wasn't really, like, tactically minded. He just, flung shit at you, and,
He just walked in and died, basically.
Yeah.
Hey, throwing rocks is a very tactical decision.
And so I imagine that Rhuk is thinking in his head, like, this was a lot different than Hilda, where Hilda was, like, tactical, right? She literally dove down, was flying in and out and stuff, and it's a stark reminder of the difference between the so-called greater giants, as they call themselves, and this one. Yeah. So, yeah. You guys would know that normally most giants would have caves. So if you wanted to try to find that, you could, but it could be like a day or two away off your
And there
track.
could be like his blood comes back. He's like, well, where'd he go?
Yeah, so it's, it's always a risk if you want to do something like that, but
That would risk the party catching up or getting closer.
yeah.
I'm fine just continuing on.
Same.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go.
I got a cool spell. Do I have to add that myself, or did you do?
It's just a spell scroll, so it's like one use. I would just, if you just
I
write it.
can't learn it.
Okay, like, I don't remember how it works with bards, because you don't really have spell books. I don't think you can just learn it, but yeah, I don't think that bards can use spell books really. Because, like, so for wizards can, like, copy a scroll into their book, but I don't believe that bards really do the same thing.
Okay. So should I add that myself then?
Yeah, just add it in, like, your inventory somewhere, right? Just make a new entry that says scroll of find animal. Or locate animals, sorry.
Plants. Oops.
Yep. So, okay. So you guys would decide to then, yes, you can feed the elk the giant if you want. They, oh god.
Located.
Normal abuse.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, so you you guys will continue on then, and I think that is where we're gonna actually end this session. And yeah, and we will next time we'll see what happens further along your journey this way. So, yeah. By the way, the way I normally do level ups is I don't use like the XP system. It's just once you guys reach like a milestone, then or like a big boss fight and you win, or you complete an adventure, then I'm like, you leveled up. This is not one of those situations. This is just like the start of an adventure. So.
Hey, I took a big beating from that rock.
Yeah. So I will. I'll let you guys know in the future when you level up. It'll probably normally, on average, every 5 or 6 sessions you'll level up. So. Okay.
All right, you can ban TSM, but you have to roll for it.
Yeah.
If you're reading chat.
All right. But yeah, so that'll do it for this week. For anyone in chat, thanks for hanging out. It was fun. We'll. I don't know. Are we all good for next week as far as we know?
Should be. I'll just tell work I have some very important business.
Yeah.
I might be in camp, so it might be scuffed, but
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah. Okay, that works.
If you need to bump hours, I can figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm sure waits for nothing.
Well, yeah. So that will do. I'm gonna go and mute us, and we'll see you guys in chat another time. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Plan outro.
Yeah.